Next week, yeah, I was gonna say, and it better be mine because I cannot do next week.
Yes. Oh, we'll get to that stuff.
Yeah, we'll get.
I mean, I guess we could do it now while we're waiting for Yanga. Is anyone
go.
else not around next week?
Guess not.
Guess not. I think Fibo said he was going to be around as well because I think we asked him last time.
I think he
Time to finally
should be
be
back from
two-headed.
vacation. He's going to be back the 9th. So yeah, he'll be
Yeah,
back before Sunday. Probably want to double check with him.
I'll double check. But I think I'd asked him last week, and I think he said it was. I think he said it was fine. We haven't updated this this landing page in a while. It looks like.
No, we've been too busy, like, kicking ass and taking names.
It's true. You have kicked.
Ye-
Oh, yeah. Okay. I guess while we're waiting for Yango, then, have you been filled in, Monty, on last week's session?
No,
Ye-
No, we
I was
spent
there
the whole
for
time
half of
talking.
it, sort of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed. You missed. There was an info dump.
Yeah, I definitely missed that, and I did not go back and watch it. Sorry.
Okay. I'm gonna go over some of that in the recap. So, but if there's anything else that we're not sure of, then we can kind of do it. Yango, where are you at, bud?
Yango.
I guess I'll
Mr. Yango.
grab my requisite alcohol as well.
You got your dice cam?
Yeah, it's up.
Yes. I think I could fall asleep to this. Legit.
Music?
Pretty good.
I mean, in the sense that I could fall asleep to anything that's like long enough like this, but it's spooky. It's not like a. Maybe I just have associations now. But
Oh, really? I was gonna say I find it extremely relaxing. You find it spooky?
What's spooky?
I just think it's got a mood. I think it's got a mood to it.
Well, it's got a mood
maybe,
now because we've sort of.
I was gonna say maybe it's just that. Maybe it's all on. I just start thinking of frozen death. It's not the music's fault, certainly.
Oh, there's Yanger.
It's good Ronaldo's fault, who has continued to stay good. I guess it's
Good
not
Ronaldo
popular.
is definitely good. Yes, we don't have to.
Ronaldo's the best boy, dude.
He is the best boy we've had in a while.
Good Ronaldo's got. We gotta keep good Ronaldo on the down low. If anyone asks about how to play music in a Discord, say
Yeah, we
fucking
don't. You
nothing.
don't tell them about good Ronaldo. It's true. Yams, are you back?
And the waffle good
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
I'm here.
All right. I think we're good to go. In our last session, you were just barely recovering from an intense four-way melee when you managed to salvage some useful and interesting items from your foes. A new focus for Kaj, a hefty shield, a strange cloak, and on the leader Nildar's corpse, some finely crafted mail and a strange baton-shaped thing you figured could be some sort of key. Not wanting any chances to slip by, you all decided to prepare an ambush for the rest of this half of the Duergar platoon. As soon as you caught them retreating from something to the east, you immediately set upon them, catching them by surprise. You pressed your advantage heavily and took them out, all while they were trying to protect one of their own who was seemingly ill-equipped for the fires of battle. Though he tried to escape, Kaj's keen senses, and perhaps a little blind luck, allowed you to tackle and capture the invisible Duergar. With that, you began to interrogate the Duergar technician known as Lorgosh, as you all noted that he was far more willing to reveal his secrets than his brethren. You learned a few important details about what the Duergar have been up to and what their plans are. According to Lorgosh, the Duergar have been collecting as much Chardalyn as possible from all over Icewind Dale, including the outskirts like Karkalok, in order to build something. Something you've been hearing and even seeing recently. Something large and capable of what he called test flights. All of this in order to opportunistically use the dark and cold of the Rime to venture forth onto the surface, something they've never been able to do before, and they plan on removing any obstacles in their way. You also learned a little more about the shaft-shaped key you found, that it is something crucially important somehow as a sort of pathing or control mechanism. Not seeing any point in executing him like you have so many others, you agreed to escort him towards Dugan's Hole, where he could then join up with the other half of the platoon, though to what end exactly you weren't sure. Keeping close watch over Lorgosh, you rested and learned more about your spoils. At the break of day, you headed towards Dugan's Hole, where Lorgosh showed you the location of Sunblight Fortress, and you let him leave. Immediately after this, you heard and saw a bolt of lightning coming from the 20 stones of Thrun. Gomdun, a well-placed clairvoyance, revealed none other than avarice and her cult of the Black Blade cleaning up what must have been a fierce battle with the Duergar. Heading over to speak with her, you agreed to a tense but fair exchange of information, feeling you perhaps had more to offer the enigmatic wizard than in previous encounters. You revealed to her the method of Zan's survival and what her rival Valine was up to, as well as your goals and reasons for heading towards the Sea of Moving Ice. She offered possible explanations for the Stones of Thrun being a focus for ancient magics, only partially Netherese in origin. She didn't have much more information on the Duergar plot itself when you asked, but perhaps the most interesting thing you learned from Avarice was in regards to the nature of the incursions you've been hearing about, and the Rime itself. She revealed two critical things to you. She confirmed that the Rime is indeed a spell, one so powerful it is nearly impossible to be cast by anyone other than a god, but also that such a casting is likely to weaken the caster significantly by doing so. She also confirmed for you that the incursions are linked to the Rime, and the longer it goes on, the worse the incursions will get, as reality is bent to the caster's will. With your intent to halt the Rime, and having perhaps briefly succeeded using a Netherese artifact she called a Mythalar, you drew Avarice's interest to you even further, beyond what was instructed to her via her patron. As such, she offered you some advice, some protection for 10 towns, and a scroll to use in your future endeavor to infiltrate Sunblight Fortress. But in exchange, she asked that you prevent her rivals from succeeding where she hopes to. And that brings us to this moment. You've traveled to Goodmead, with all of this new information buzzing about in your brains. The Arcane Brotherhood. You've now met and aligned yourselves with 3 of the 4 known wizards in the area.
Yeah, you put it that way.
This is going so well.
How long can you expect to take advantage of their rivalry and play them against each other in this way before you reap any consequences?
Man,
Oh,
you
dear.
gotta put it like that.
We got
Sunblight and the Duergar. How will you infiltrate the fortress? And when is a good time? Before dealing with those problems, you did realize that time is of the essence, and the monthly sacrifice is nearly upon you. So the goal now is to prevent one impending disaster in 10 towns before trying to handle the others. Avarice agreed to get the cult to protect the Care towns, but there are 7 to tend to as well. You feel you must defend 10 towns from Oral's wrath now that she will not be receiving her tribute, but in the back of your mind's a growing unease. Since you were the deciding factor in eliminating the sacrifice, who will protect you?
It's very ominous.
So, at the end of last session, you guys decided you were heading on to Goodmead, I believe?
I think we did.
Yes. So, that is where we bring up today. You guys have arrived in Goodmead, not a long travel after your meeting with Avarice, and you have 5 days before the sacrifice. What would you like to do?
The goodest mead.
I mean, at this point, it seems like we should meet Nass and ally with her too, because we got to get the fucking full set.
He doesn't seem
get
to
an
want to meet
achievement?
us. We keep trying.
If we get the achievement, we get a bonus level, right?
Yeah,
That's how it
exactly.
works, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, the gamer score of our individual
Plus
players
1
go up.
milestone.
We can show them up. We can show them off at the next Adventurers League.
You joke, but on the Frostmaiden Discord, there is somebody created some sort of achievement system. So
Oh, you haven't given us the achievement list. We got to figure out what we can. We
no,
got to figure out what we can unlock.
I think the goal of the achievement list is just to kind of figure out after the fact. I don't think it's to like let you guys know ahead of time.
No, what we should do is Wave. You should take the Chivo list and turn it into Frostmaiden Bingo and see how many bingos we get.
I wonder if Foundry has an achievement add-on.
Bring
There
up.
you
I wouldn't
go.
be surprised.
But alright, are we just heading
Yep.
out to Goodmead itself?
There's an add-on for achievements.
Fantastic.
Yeah, presumably you guys have already arrived at Goodmead. We're going to start with you guys already having arrived at Goodmead.
Well, there's no place like home, eh, brother?
I think Parmux is looking around, kind of just kind of like wistful again. And I think just says, homecomings of late have been a bit painful looking briefly over at Hanu before turning away.
Still.
I'd hate to think of what happened. I'd hate to think of what might happen to Goodmead were we to let it. Well,
There's no need
you
to
know,
be that glum right now. We're home.
things have been serious, but you're right. We could see if any more honey has come in, see if there's any more of the mead at the mead hall, and see how our friend Shandar is doing.
Well, I wouldn't call him our friend, but we can see how he's doing.
Well, we have a lot of friends that we wouldn't call friend these days.
What is the
Mm,
plan?
Yeah.
What are we doing? So,
I think the way I understood it is at the end of last session, you guys left it that, you know, you're gonna try and do something before the sacrifice comes because you're not entirely sure what will happen now that the majority, if not all, of the towns have agreed not to perform that sacrifice. So, you've already sort of gotten Avarice to agree to send some cult members to Caer and to, prepare to defend Caer Dineval as well from whatever may come. And again, that leaves about 7 towns if you wish to try to do something about each of those and to, add contingencies just in case.
to that end, given our time constraint, perhaps it is best if we travel and each meet with a different person. We could all split
Are
up
you
along the
splitting
Eastway.
party?
Some go to East Haven, some go to Brinchander. Some stay in Brinchander and make sure that they are understood what there is to do. But I think our efforts as a party should be focused on the northern towns. They are the most vulnerable, and they are the closest to Ravisson's forces that we know of.
There is one other detail, which is, way I see it, here is one of the least protected places. I don't know if they have the whatever shield that that Nair's town might. Um,
Fuck, where did
went
where the
bye
f-
bye.
Yeah, what the fuck, good Ronaldo?
Damn.
Alright, whatever. It's
I was
fine.
just saying. I was just
we were
saying.
just singing. We were just singing his praises.
Yeah, I know.
We didn't pay his union dues.
He got cocky.
Chaotic good. He should change his name to Chaotic Good Ronaldo.
Good. But you know, Targos has got the, and
Right.
otherwise I'm in full agreement to Asad, but I think that Goodmead maybe has some of the least defense now that Bridgechander, East Haven probably occupied, the Cares handled for the moment. I worry is all for our
Well,
home.
fortunately, we are only 5 bodies.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also thought that it would be best to at least speak with everyone to see what their protections are, but you know, other than Goodmead, you're right. It's Tourmaline in particular. I think I'm worried most about.
Tourmaline
Bremen too.
Lonelywood. I'm
Something we need to consider. We know for a fact that Targos, at least its leadership, has been in league with those whom we are opposed to. And cannot be sure what hand they may have in the reprisals that will follow.
I
This is partially why it's Tourmaline for me, is just because Lonelywood. I mean, Lonelywood is just as vulnerable, if not far more so. But there's so few people now after everything they've gone through already. It might be we could do more good in Tourmaline, especially propping up an ally. Not that
Wow.
nifty, is it? But
Well, what are you going to do? Convince
Tourmaline,
those in Lonelywood to leave? Because we tried that. It didn't work.
no.
Tourmaline is close enough to both Lonelywood and Brinshander that if something were to happen in our absence, we could potentially arrive in time to change the outcome.
If we're midway on the road between them, perhaps we could wait for a signal, provide them with something to let us
Point
know.
being, Tourmaline is midway on the road between Brinshander and.
Yes.
I'm less worried about Bryn Shander and East Haven in particular. We know the Bryn Shander's got the best of the walls, and East Haven has at least got a particularly competent captain, as well as enough people to capture a red wizard. But I mean, again, Asad's right. Those northern towns, now that the cares are defended, those are probably the least of them. Except,
Well,
I mean, I look around Goodmead. I don't think there's much of a. There's no wall. There's no military. I mean, Shandar's men. We know the loggers are pretty tough, but other than that, that's it, right?
Tough only goes so far.
Yeah, Goodmead, as far as, militia members or town defenses, Goodmead is among the least for sure.
No.
If what Goodmead has in its advantage right now is the fact that it's
Allied with
connected to Nerf and the those folks, and we it seems less likely that anything will happen here, both due to proximity and affiliation.
as far as we know, there's no one in the forests around Goodmead that is connected to Oral, like there is near Lonelywood.
You are right.
I think it's a chance we have to take because Goodmead is
Yep.
so far removed from the rest of the area. You could talk to Shandar yourself as a member of this city, perhaps.
I mean, I think I certainly will before we leave. All him, all of Essa, anyone who will listen deserves to hear that
We
they
need
ought
to be
to.
moving quickly.
Right.
5 days will pass rather fast.
We should talk to Shandar, send a message to the leader of Caer Konig, perhaps stop by East Haven, definitely stop by Bryn Shander on our way to Tourmaline, and decide where between Tourmaline and Lonelywood to divide ourselves.
So we're not going to attack Sunblight Fortress before the sacrifice, then?
No,
We
I don't
would
think
that
so.
would be the only thing we would do if we did that.
Mhm.
And it would be a very
And
close
we
call
don't
in
think
terms of
that-
time. So we decided
Yeah,
not to.
I was gonna.
Okay.
Yeah.
That didn't come out in the summer.
Yep. Totally.
If we had left from Dugan gone straight there, committed whatever act we were going to commit quickly, and then left and booked it back, we might have made it back in time for the sacrifice.
But yeah, some of the discussion yesterday last time was just like we don't have time, and we swore ourselves to deal with the sacrifice, so we can always come back around and we'll see what that decision buys us.
Well, all right.
Unless, I mean, if you've had a change of heart and you think we should go there instead, I'm certainly not opposed.
Well, I think now that we're here,
I
I'm
mean,
assuming that you guys probably mathed out like the distances and stuff, because I don't even know where the fortress is on the map. It's
not on
the
this
right
map.
scale map.
I will move you. We have added the location to that.
It's far down, and we're gonna have to like look for it a bit. Is the problem?
It was in the box, to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a dot that is where what's his name indicated it would be.
That's
Yeah.
where it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Avarice
Lorgosh-
confirmed that.
Yeah, Lorgosh plus Avarice. Both of them said.
Avarice confirmed that's where it is. She gave us a knock scroll if we wanted to go in loud. She also told us that perhaps the best strategy would be to go after Sunblight himself. Because he seems to be the impetus for whatever plans they currently have.
Okay.
That is what she said. Now, I mean, we're not that much farther away now. We would have to cut straight across the red waters, and we would have to go across the mountains, which we are not very well equipped to do.
I think the idea behind the decision last time, Monty, was that you guys could definitely have made it for sure and probably gotten back, but you don't know, how long, whatever it is, you don't know what you're going to find in the fortress, is what people are saying. You don't know how long that was going to take. And the idea was if you have to kind of do some traveling and set up, it's going to take some time in and around 10 towns to get things set up. So if it takes a day or two to get to and back from Sunblight Fortress, if not more, that leaves you much more of a limited time to try and handle as many towns as possible for the sacrifice. And that was sort of the reason there.
I mean, it's not like we can be in all the towns anyway.
No.
Well,
No,
but the
but-
question is
Well,
like,
You can't, but
we have allies, and that is what the goal should be here. Is like, can Bryn Shander potentially spare people to help us?
Well, I mean, yes, and so the other thing that's here for me is like, I don't know, Monty, if you like, we could have the disagreement.
No, I'm
If you-
mostly just trying to catch up, like, because I don't know things like, what was the estimated travel time to and from the fortress.
It's
and
like
stuff
2
that.
days.
I'm just out of I just don't have information.
yeah,
Yeah,
it would
totally.
probably take the better part of 2 days from where everyone was, which was just south of Dugan's Hole at the
To
time.
get there.
Just to
Yes.
get to Sunblight Force, and that's assuming that it goes well.
yeah,
Because we
Yeah,
are
okay.
going into terrain we don't know anything about. We don't know what else is out there. And like I said, like, our sled is not a mountain sled. The axe beaks are not mountain climbing like things
Okay.
either.
All
You'd
right,
have to
moving
take
on
the-
from that.
Right.
I think so. From my perspective, I'm less concerned about the distribution of our allies as I am anticipating what is going to happen where, and I think it's harder, but it's potentially more lucrative in terms of like outcomes to like to try to figure out what is going to happen in response or where the hammer is going to fall hardest and and least.
Oh my god, Asmil.
sorry.
Yes, you guys can absolutely do this out of character if that's like.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I mean,
in my opinion, I think that the two northern towns, Lilianwood and Tourmaline, are by far the easiest targets. If you were going to
I
punish
mean, like,
people.
we've had that discussion, but I mean more of like in terms of what our characters do now. Going around and talking to people about like let's grab allies from here and take them there is okay, but like would it be better to like maybe try to figure out who might be able to, I don't know, like, I mean, Orus has augury, but that's very limited. Like, what can we
Also
do
not
to
a-
actually learn what's going to happen, to like investigate
Well, also,
and
like,
anticipate?
running around between towns is also just not a thing we have to do anymore to like tell people stuff. Like, it's just like we have the tools to stay in one place and do that. So like that shouldn't influence our decision of how we split up and where we go.
Let me remind you, Monty, because I think this was actually brought up last week, but I'm not 100% certain. That you probably do, as a party, have some idea as to what happens when the sacrifice is disregarded, and that would be Kerkonic.
Right.
attack
Ravison
towns.
sends yeah, they attack the towns, but it's like, if let's assume for the moment 7 of the 9 towns don't sacrifice, because I'm making no assumptions about Goodmead or Targos right now.
Goodmead already
in
didn't
that-
sacrifice.
Oh, they did.
They did? They sacrificed
Yeah,
warmth, right?
Yep.
They
Yeah,
didn't
they did
sacrifice a
warmth.
person.
Nope.
It works.
Right.
It still works. It just is, I think, well, we don't know what it does for oral, but there's
Right.
sort of everyone's picked, and the assumption I would guess is that a person is the best one, but who knows?
Right. But in any case, point being, assume 7 of the 10 towns skip the sacrifice. We're not going to make any assumptions about Targos and Goodmead. Are all of them going to be attacked? Does Ravison have enough awakened animals handy for that?
That's a question we can't possibly answer.
No, but well, it's a question we could potentially investigate. Like, we're planning on ultimately being near Lonelywood and Tourmaline anyway.
I mean, we could go in that
we could
direction,
do
yeah.
a lot of good just going up there and thinning the herds, so to speak.
I mean, yeah, if you want to go and do like a preemptive strike sort of situation, I'm all for that too, yeah.
Because, and we can potentially do stuff along the way. Like maybe, maybe there's somebody in Bryn Shander who like is not who wouldn't mind going on a hunt.
Well, I think we should set up contingencies anyway. Like, it's easy enough for us to like we need to tell whoever's in Kirkonic what's going to happen, so that he knows that the cultists that are coming there are there to defend, and that we
Right.
arranged it. We also need
Right,
to make sure that East Haven understands the risk, right?
Right, but those are things we can do with a sending spell.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but like we need to like make sure that we do those things. Those are like important things to talk
Sure.
about,
Well,
right?
we've got 5 days.
We
That's
get,
plenty
we get
of
2
room for
sending
sending
per
spells.
day plus Beldora. Like
Right.
that's not like we have plenty of sending spells.
And then it like if we're already going to Tourmaline and Lonelywood, stopping by Bryn Shander, I think we should negotiate and like put in the plan like if you guys can spare people to help out Tourmaline and Lonelywood that are far less defended or good meat if we want to think about that, that could be a discussion as well. Is like if we're in one of Lonelywood and Tourmaline, could Bryn Shander help? Good meat. But anyway, point being is like we could see if we could allocate their resources better for them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and then if what we want to do, if we then want to go out into the forests above Lonelywood and try to like preemptively strike against Ravison and the forces there, I'm all for that. But it's like what? From Goodmead, if we take the east way to Bryn Shander, it's like the better, like we've already traveled the better part of a day right now, right? Wave.
I'm trying to remember.
We had a
So
long
you
rest.
guys would
We
have
woke up.
traveled. You had a long rest. You woke up, and then you headed to Dugan's Hole. So I'd say
Right.
Goodmead. I'd say you'd probably like most of the day, like or at least a good portion of the day already. So you'd have like
Right.
you wouldn't necessarily be able to travel to Bryn Shander today.
Right.
Is what I'd say.
So
That
Bryn
would give
Shander.
me a good time to prepare sending, so I'm down.
Right. Well, and we could also like make sure that Shandar Froth knows what's up, right? Like.
Yep.
In all likelihood, we are more powerful than anyone that's in Goodmead. So even if
Right.
it's
I mean,
like some amount of coercion going on.
So I'd be careful how much we tell him.
Well, we need to tell him that like, look, if you intend as the leader of Goodmead to go along with the rest of the towns and not sacrifice to Arl, you should be prepared for what may come.
Right. Just don't tell because he is entangled with
Oh.
Nerith, we think.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell him exactly what we're doing. Keep it very vague beyond just we're going to figure
Right.
out the best way for us to defend the
Oh, yeah.
10 towns. We don't know what that is yet. Blah 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 blah. Like
Right. Yes.
we don't want him knowing exactly where we plan on being.
Right.
Period.
No,
the end.
I don't ever plan on being fully straightforward with this dude ever.
No, but like we need to make sure that he at least like knows what's up and that has a plan.
Yep.
Right? And then
But so far-
for the twins' sake.
Yeah. So far, all
Yep.
of this sounds good to me.
Let's just move forward.
okay.
Yeah. This sounds like a
Whatever
I thought,
conversation we
like-
want to have there, and then we have a long rest here in Goodmead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will also say we don't necessarily put it this way. I don't think we need to act out absolutely every part of this.
Mhm.
So if you have very specific strategies you'd like to implement, we can go right to doing those things, depending on how much time it'll take or whatever. And if there are conversations I think that need to happen, then we can have those conversations.
Just want to make sure, Hanu, Sunaj, you're good.
Yep.
This sounds good so far. Okay.
Sounds perfect so far.
Okay, so for now, then the plan is speak to Shandar and then what?
Like long rest in Goodmead.
Long
Okay.
rest and good mean. Switch out some spells. Head on the east way toward Bryn Shander.
Send some
texts
sendings.
to
Yeah.
Provis and Arlagath. I
Okay.
could do what's his name, but I'd prefer to talk to Arlagath.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. In conversation with Goodmead, who will be going, and what will be the tone of said conversation?
it will be good. It'll be citizen and priest of Goodmead, providing a warning and asking if they need anything for help. Though it is probably not likely us.
Okay.
We'll just say Asad is like not in the room, but isn't like is close by.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
well,
it's mainly Pardoon, I assume.
Right.
we'll meet.
Yeah.
We'll either meet Shandar in his office or like at a table in the mead hall, and you can either be outside the door or like
Yeah.
at a table nearby in cheersing distance, if you will.
Yes.
So here's what I will give you then. Shandar has no intention of skipping the sacrifice.
Okay.
It was sorry. He has no sorry. I apologize. I completely misspoke. He has no intention of doing the sacrifice. He has no intention of doing this. This is what was agreed upon at the council meeting, and so he has made it clear that if he thinks that his town will be in danger, he plans on defending it accordingly.
I mean, does it sound like he has a good plan?
Um, as you know from Shandar, his talk is a lot of bravado, but from those of you who were there the night of the sacrifice the last time, you know that him and his lackeys do have a decent amount of muscle to back themselves up.
In that case, I do think that during this conversation, or when I hear that, and I presume, I guess part of it is sort of a passive insight check that sounds like that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
I give him a look and I just say, Jandar, I'm not sure we agree on much, but if you can protect this town, then you have my thanks and Valkyr's blessing, and there will be a favor owed. I can't speak for all of my people. I can't even speak for both of us, but I can speak for me, certainly, that you keep this town safe, and well, I'll owe you one for certain.
He kind of mostly brushes you off and says, "Well, you know, you do have that big eyesore in the middle of town you got to finish at some point. Traveling around all around the 10 towns in Icewind Dale. You ever plan on coming back?"
I do, but
Time.
stupid. I put 50 gold on the table.
He
Hey,
looks at it, his eyes go wide.
This is a long owed down payment, and use it for whatever you like, but make sure you put some of it toward keeping that building going, and I'll be back for it to make it right.
He looks at you strangely and agrees.
Gives him a sidelong glance because I still don't trust this motherfucker, but also like give him a nod and then grab Asad from where she is nearby, and I think we can go or we can find a place at the meat hall and get a bit warmer, and then pass to the next day.
Okay, another rest. Is there anything that anyone would specifically like to do before we move on to from day 5 to day 4?
I don't think so.
I don't think
so.
Was there ascending, perhaps? I believe.
Well,
No,
we don't have
Well,
sendings.
that has to be prepared for tomorrow. I mean,
Okay.
I could do a sending to Beldora and say like,
Yeah.
I gotta think of the wording, but I'm gonna send her something.
Okay. Out loud, by the way, please. It's a lot
I
easier.
suppose it's like Asad would probably like just passively speaking. Asad is looking to see at every town that we meet, everywhere that we go. She's trying to figure out, perhaps somewhat subtly, if Torga has been there.
Okay. Yep, that's fair.
So like, if that includes like asking around a little bit, she would do that.
Yeah, Goodmead has like they're kind of surprised that Torga has not been by in a while.
Okay.
So that's what you have on her.
Got it.
Anything else anyone would like to do specifically in Goodmead?
I'm thinking. So I think the sending I would like send to Beldor would be something to the effect of like this is our plan. We think there's going to be something that happens with the sacrifices. We need to prepare people.
She responds, I'm not sure that there's anything I can do from my position, but if there is anything within my means, please let me know.
Good enough.
Okay, then we are long resting.
Mhm.
It is now the 29th day of the month.
Let me spells it up a little bit.
There are a full 4 days left of the sacrifice. According to Monty's little checklist in Frosty Friends, you guys are now going to be heading over to Bryn Shander while casting Sending to East Haven and Carconig.
I agree with what Monty has written.
Are you guys all okay with that?
All okay with it?
Check
Trying to
Brandon
think
for
if there's
300
any
gold
other-
worth of diamonds. Yeah, that's a good point.
What's that for?
That is the spell component, which is
For
consumed by
Revivify.
Revivify.
Yep.
Yeah, that's.
Or sorry, say that. It's Revivify.
It's
Yeah.
Revivify's consumed spell component.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be
Um,
one 300 gold diamond, as far as I'm aware.
It's just diamonds worth 300.
Worth 300 gold. Yeah. I mean, I will say that is something you definitely could get in Bryn Shander. There are ways you have been gifted gemstones in the past by various sort of people in and around, Icewind Dale. So
Right.
not that it's going to be particularly easy to find, but if you were going to find it, Bryn Shander would certainly be a place to get it.
It's
Okay.
that or Tourmaline, but I don't think Tourmaline has a diamond mine. They've got a
No,
different
yeah,
kind of mine.
Tourmalane's was specifically what are they called?
Those weird rock things.
God, I can't remember the name of them right now.
It doesn't matter. It's not.
Anyway, it doesn't matter, but no, they're not diamonds. But yes, yeah, I'll say you are able to procure yourself 300 gold worth of diamonds. Yes.
So whoever's keeping track of party gold, negative 300.
Did we have a note for that, or
We still don't.
Last time we talked about this, I thought you guys were going to. All right, I will try to keep track of it going forward. I think it was something like I want to say it was like 16 or something like that. And then you
1600? You mean?
Yeah.
Maybe I think so. And
That
then
sounds familiar. I
and
think
then you
we-
had spent a bunch.
Did we divide that 5 ways? Is that
I
what
No,
think
we
you
were
guys-
we were pooling gold is our plan.
Yeah,
because-
you guys were
yeah.
pooling it.
Here,
Okay,
is-
I'm gonna.
one thing I'll say
I'm
is-
noting it in Oris's character sheet from here on.
Okay.
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 One thing to note is we had started pooling it. We also before that had split it. So there was a point where we started pooling it, which is why this is also fucked. Pooling
Right.
it from now on is the right idea.
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
But yeah. So if we guess we're at 1300 and we're up 1 gem, and I need to prepare please remind me to prepare Revivify the last day, so I don't fuck that up.
Okay.
But yes, okay, cool. Otherwise, 2 settings.
Okay, so so you guys are going to go head over to Bryn Shander. We're not going to have any sort of encounters or any of that sort of thing. We've already sort of talked about when we're staying within 10 towns, we've sort of eliminated the encounter factor. But from Goodmead to Bryn Shander is going to take the better part of a day. It is one of the longest sort of travel sections. So
Right.
like you can definitely still do things in Bryn Shander after the fact, but it's not like the end of the day or anything. But there's not much more travel you would be able to do.
Right.
So what sending would you like to send?
Even if it's just on the road, I send
Yep.
1 to. Let's start with Trovis.
Okay.
And to Trovis, I say, Trovis. It's Parmux. The sacrifice is coming, and we have sent defenders your way. They are dressed in black from Caer Konig.
Dinaval, you mean?
Caer Dinaval, yep. Be safe, friend. That's exactly 25.
Okay.
Nice. Love it.
He responds, I hope, I was just Scottish accent. I hope that there will be a better defense than the last time you told us not to sacrifice.
Man, that's cold.
Ooh.
I mean, we fucked him over last time. We didn't know we were fucking over him last fucking him over last time.
We didn't know they would need to be defended
Yep.
last time. This time they will be defended.
I mean, you didn't see it, Monty, and admittedly, avarice was a big component of this, but they ruined the other Duergar. They ruined them at Dugan's
How did
Hole.
they end up there? Did we sending them?
No, they came down and fucked them up. They realized what the 20 or Avarice decided she knew what the 20 stones were for whatever reason and was just like, no, those are mine now.
I mean, to be completely honest, I don't think you ever really asked Avarice.
We didn't. I'm making assumptions, but I think
Yeah.
that's what it is.
That was not one of the things you asked her as to what she was doing, or like what she was doing there, or how she knew to be down there. You didn't really ask her that, so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if we would have got an answer out of her for that.
You may not have,
anyway.
but I'm just
No,
telling you. I don't think you
all
asked
I
her.
asked was, did we tip her off?
You did not.
Was it, and we
You-
didn't.
No.
No.
She
we-
came down. I wonder if like she's clearly she alluded to getting info from Levistus or from someone, almost certainly her patron, almost certainly Levistus, and so I wonder if when we cleared out the the Ublexes or whatever, she knew, and then they rolled up, and
Probably
again
did.
again she again she was a big help. They took out that entire platoon. So
Yeah, they fucked them up.
I feel like the cultists can take some wolves even without her support.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. With only concern is what happens after. Anyway.
Oh yeah, indeed.
So
Maybe she'll send Arlo up there, assuming they're hanging out.
oh dear. Anyway, so we're currently in Bryn Shander. It took the better part of a day. We got our 300 gold worth of diamonds.
I gotta send one more sending with this
Yep.
other 3rd-level spell, which is to Imdra.
Mhm.
Which is Imdra, sacrifice coming. East Haven is well defended, but is there anything that you need? Please be prepared. I think it's way under, but more than enough.
Parmux, we should be fine here. What are we to expect?
All right, that'll be tomorrow.
Okay, so you guys are in Bryn Shander now. You guys have procured your diamonds. What else would you like to do while you're here?
I'll just note that things to expect are, animals, potentially cold light walkers, and if there's a snowstorm, call for help. like that you expect a very powerful spellcaster if a snowstorm blows in.
Yeah, I'll let her know. I think there's also a bit of just like, oh, actually, there are 2 things I do want to do in Bryn Shander, which is I want to see if there's anything new that Scramsax has heard, and I want to just make sure Duvessa doesn't need anything while we're here.
Okay. So you guys are gonna head over to the inn?
Yep.
The tavern? Okay. So you head over, and Scramsax once again welcomes you and he goes, "Hey, friends! Come on in, have a drink."
What's new in the towns, Scramsax?
Rumor has it that something happened to Dugan's Hole.
It's just to make sense. Is this just like a bar or something?
It's a bar.
Oh yeah, so basically the Bryn Shander, this is the biggest of the towns.
Okay.
I don't think have you guys not been there since he joined? I don't guess
Don't
probably
know.
not.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so basically this is one
I
of
think we
the
skirted it. I think we skirted it around.
Yeah, we have, because
Yeah.
when we came from the Spire, we were here because this is where we learned about the cabin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yes, that is true. That is true.
Look, gist is.
But not much. So
And they're
basically this guy's an innkeeper who's sort of widely known as like the town gossip / information hoarder. Almost like an information broker, but less sinister. And so you guys often have gone to him to see kind of what's up.
Quests, etc.
Yeah, he's a quest giver.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he says, so yeah, Dugan's Hole, like I heard something went down there. Is that why we haven't heard anything from them in so long?
Gone.
What do you
You
mean?
got
What do you mean gone?
it's gone. What do you got to drink?
He just sort of pulls out a sort of a large tankard of ale and starts pouring for you.
I kind of pull him aside I actually look at the ale and I say maybe something stronger. Scram sacks actually, if you got it.
Okay, and he pulls out like kind of this aged whiskey from like somewhere in like he used to reach way back on the bottom shelf and he like blows a layer of dust off of it and he kind of slams it on the table.
Yeah. And once he pours that, I kind of bring him aside. Um, a friend Hanu's from there, but there's no Dugan's Hole left. They got beset by a pair of I don't know precisely what, but they were hell, and they listen. It would give you nightmares. Things we cleared it out. It's not going to trouble any of the rest of the towns, but
There's nobody left. They're all gone.
they're all gone.
The speaker, the townsfolk, everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
And Scramsax just sort of turns a little bit pale, and he says, "If this kind of thing can happen underneath our noses, true, it's the smallest town, but the worse this gets, the longer this goes on. I don't know how much longer any of us are going to last."
I you know, I throw my head over toward Kaj, and say, well, I think we got an expert on things coming in from other places, and he's here to stop them, and so are we.
And he
We
sort of,
bring
he'll like sort of tip his, you know, a little salute to Kaj there. Says, "Well
we
met."
we bring the light back, and these things will stop, but we got to do that first. So you just take care of yourself, and well, raise a glass to Dugan's Hole.
Well, what's bringing you here today? With you, it's always business, right?
Yes, but luckily the business is not with you, save to make sure um, the hatches are battened down and you give what support you can to the city guard, because they may have the work cut out for him come sacrifice night.
Were you expecting something?
What have you been told about the sacrifice?
Well, far be it for me to say entirely, but you know, there are certainly some supporters of it and some that don't.
Well, let me tell you, and you ain't heard it from me, but there will be no sacrifice in Bryn Shander in 4 days' time. And that's going to invite some anger. But I think your guard can keep yourself safe. And we're going to check with Duvessa to make sure. But it's going to weaken this rhyme.
You're sure of that?
Yeah, more than ever. Before is what's right, and now it's about what's right and what'll work.
Well, I suppose we got to trust you. All the good you've done.
We appreciate it.
You tell old Devessa?
I think Duvessa knows came up at the speakers council, but we'll talk to her before we go for certain and tell her what more we've learned.
All right, well, if there's anything old Scramsax can do, you let me know.
Pour and raise those glasses, at least for now. Dugan's Hole deserves it, but just keep your people safe.
And don't go spreading the sort of thing about Dugan's Hole that you've learned.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Thanks. And then talk to Duvessa in case she has anything relevant to speak of. But I imagine it'll be a lot of the same stuff. I guess I tell her boat doesn't, or like the things. I don't know. We let her know what happens up in Revel's End.
Okay.
Because I think she was the one who gave us that hookup.
Yep.
Yeah, she was the one who
Yep.
sort of told you that that's where you could procure a boat. She doesn't seem surprised that um, Marta was sort of tough in terms of not being able to just kind of hand one over to you. She seemed genuinely sort of surprised that, she has you learn in talking to her that she has good knowledge of what Revel's End is about. Maybe more knowledge than anyone else you would imagine. Um, but she seems sort of shocked that anything could give Marta a decent amount of trouble.
Same.
Uh, so, she just sort of apologizes for not being able to get you exactly, what you wanted there. Um, but at the very least, she has no doubts that Bryn Shander, the might of Bryn Shander, put it this, she says Bryn Shander has stood against worse things in her time alone. Um, it's withstood giant attacks. Um, so a few forest animals should be no trouble at all.
Don't forget the cold light walkers.
Beware of those undead, though.
I'll
Well,
make sure to I'll make sure to inform
Michonne.
my captains and leaders.
I truly speak with Michonne, see if he might have something to offer you.
Against undead? That's not a bad idea.
Actually, that does remind me of one other thing, which is I want to go talk to Nabernacher.
I
Oh, yes. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's a good call.
I first can like I wanted to ask
Yeah.
I wanted to ask her about potentially like sending someone somewhere else to help.
Okay. What did you have in mind?
Well, if you can spare anybody. One of the less defended towns to the north, like Tourmaline or Lonelywood, are perhaps the easiest targets.
I'm a little wary of sparing our particular might. Bryn Shander is the most populated town in all the area. We may need all the defense we can get, but roll persuasion.
Sure.
With advantage, because, we'll say that, this is something that everyone's kind of hinting towards and being a part of.
A 10.
That's with advantage? Okay.
Yeah.
So she says, I can't promise I can spare anything, but if I can, where did you have in mind? Tourmaline?
Perhaps. We think we might be in the forest near Lonelywood soon, so
We have to assume that anywhere I would presume to send any support, that they would not be too proud and be willing to accept it.
well, we'll be going through Tourmaline in all likelihood, and if you are able to spare anyone, I think that Oris there won't deny help.
You could be right, but Oris is only beginning to come into his own, and it's possible that accepting help from outside towns would ruin whatever show of strength he has been attempting thus far. So we'll see.
I mean, worst comes to worst, we can, if Lonelywood's the place where they're accepted, then we'll come back down a little early, if that's what needs be.
Right?
We'll keep in touch.
Agreed. Okay, and you wanted to go visit Copper as well?
Yeah, should let Copper know. Oh,
Okay.
actually, sorry, I did have one last thing for Jabessa, which is just
Yes.
she saw Feline, right?
I don't believe so.
Fuck. Okay, if she hasn't, then never mind.
I don't believe she's ever met Valine, no.
I was gonna say APB ad for Valine, but I'm not. If she hasn't seen her, then I'm not gonna bother.
I mean, you can describe her, but
Oh, I know, but like honestly, it's more. It works better if she's like been in our presence, but it's like I don't know, maybe Torga's seen her or something like that. I think it'll be all right.
and you're gonna go visit Copper as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think the the big thing here is just like, I can't remember the name of his partner, husband,
McGradis.
Kratos. Yeah, I just like let him know that he is dead, but his work was incredible, and it was what brought back the sun not too long ago. And I don't know if there's any forgiveness or anything that happened there other than just like him moving on. So I tell the nicest version of the story I can, which is
Yeah,
maybe a short version.
sure. Conflicted emotions in Copper. He is simultaneously, obviously saddened, angry at his partner, but also excited to know that the work that they had done was not for nothing and it has been in some way successful. And Copper then thanks you for giving him some amount of closure.
Keep yourself safe. Stay inside best you can on the sacrifice, and remember that light. It's coming back.
Look forward to it. Okay. So, anything else anyone would like to do in Bryn Shander? I will take that as a no. Then, we will have our second long rest and move on to day 3. What is the plan for day 3?
So I've got to follow up with Imdra, which is expect awakened.
Well, so this will be the next day, right?
Yes, this
Yeah.
will be after the long
Yeah.
rest.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, so no.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So okay. Well, so I'm saying so that's fine. So we're gonna do ascending to Imdra. What about the rest of you guys? What is the plan here?
We're heading to Tourmaline, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
So
gonna skirt Targos and Bremen and head straight to Tourmaline.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Well, wait, hold on. I guess I don't know if we said this, but like long rest in Bryn Shander.
Yes.
Then, okay, yes.
Yes. And so this route will also take probably the most of a day to get to Tourmaline as well.
Yep.
Okay. Again, anything anyone wants to do besides the sending to Imdra? Like the rest of you, nothing in particular?
No, I think for me at least, I'm just, I don't really know, like, Hanu doesn't know a whole lot of people here, so he's kind of just following along, right?
I mean, you do and you don't. You are from 10 towns, so you certainly have
but I mean,
like
just in the interest that we're trying to get the sacrifices stuff, I don't think there's anything that I think.
sure. Okay. Okay. Then we're moving on. All right, so we'll do the sending to Imdra.
Yeah, give me 1 second to do a note thing. While I'm doing this note thing, question. I will have 1 extra sending today. I had 2 potential targets. One was the whale, Angajuk, and the other is Zan. Do we have any thoughts about anyone else we might want to chat with, / the relative wisdom of trying to chat with Zan or any other of our erstwhile Arcane Brotherhood jerks?
Wow. Sure. I mean, who of these do we think we're actually get the most out of?
I mean, if we were to talk to anyone, I feel like Zan is the person to talk to, unfortunately.
He's
but
the one that owes us the most, considering,
but something tells me that none of them will be particularly helpful, and I maybe even better off just checking to see if anyone's come by Angajuk, or what's her name specifically has come by Angajuk.
I don't have any particular ideas.
Right.
I mean, unless you want to reassure Trovis.
Oh, maybe that's a good idea. You know what? I'm not gonna put my money where my mouth. Like I just don't know. I don't know. I hope that we're right. I hope that that just proves it. So maybe I'll check with Angajuk just because I haven't done that in a minute.
Okay. So Imdra and then Angajuk is the plan.
Yes.
Okay.
The Imdra one is more interesting. It's expect awakened beasts, wolves, and other dangerous sorts. Be wary of undead. They will be cold and light. If snowy, if blizzard, get to safety. 24.
Okay. Imdra says, well, that couldn't have been more enigmatic.
I gave some specific ones. Jerk.
The beasts will be no trouble, but the undead and mention of blizzard is new. Localized? Question mark.
Yes.
I
But
will
we can
check
say
with
that.
I will check with Angajuk tomorrow and instead just send her right back. Um, the undead are bright and dangerous only for the best warriors. The blizzard is all consuming and may contain
Elementals.
a direct representative of Oral.
Well, I don't see how we can go up against winter itself. Here's hoping that it's only beasts and undead then. Thank you for the warning.
Yep, pretty much.
Okay. So you head to Tourmaline. What would you like to do?
Talk to Oris. See how
Okay.
amenable he is to reinforcements.
Okay.
See how things are going.
Oris says things are going decently well. He has, ever since the Speakers Council meeting, he actually has command over the militia, which he didn't before, for whatever reason. He says the group of kobolds has been decently helpful, albeit fewer than before.
Which we know why.
The townsfolk have warmed up to them slightly. And as far as accepting help from Bryn Shander, let's have you guys again roll persuasion on that for me.
We doing advantage again? Or
Yeah.
okay.
Who wants to roll on that?
I have a +5.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say I am.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
17 this time.
Okay. He says that he feels that Tourmaline's militia should be more than well equipped to handle any problems. He certainly wouldn't mind a little bit of assistance, but the might of Bryn Shander might be better spent elsewhere.
We'll tell him
Sounds
that we'll
like
pass his message along as like perhaps if you feel confident, then we will focus our
So,
efforts in helping Nimsy.
basically what he tells you is like, I mean, as far as what you know that each militia can offer, Bryn Shander and East Haven are by far the largest.
Right.
In that they can spare like probably close to, if not more than 100 people,
Right.
which is quite a few. Tourmaline is probably the next largest, as opposed to like Tourmaline. Actually, I mean that's not counting Targos. Targos as well would be as well one of those. So Bryn Shander, East Haven, and Targos always as well. Tourmaline less than that, but larger than likely any of the other towns.
So they're pretty well
So they'd be
defended.
able to decently well, you'd say.
Yeah.
But the proximity to Lonelywood and Mare Dualden, obviously leaves some room for error.
Right.
least the mayor should be a little bit better, but yeah.
We'll see.
Indeed.
Okay. So, anything you guys would like to do here?
Give me 1 second to look up a name, but it's mostly gonna be for flavor.
Who are you looking for?
I just wanted to mention that I wanted to. Oh, come on. Why is it Arctos? I wanted to
Arctos,
just
yes.
have a drink with Arctos before we left. That's all.
Okay, sure. Arctos is at his house. He's more than willing to join you, um, and is looking forward to hearing your tales, and is also planning on stepping up and helping Oris defend the town personally.
That's good.
Wouldn't have imagined otherwise. Thank you again.
Okay. Anything anyone else would like to do?
I don't think there's much to take care of in Tourmaline proper.
Nope.
Okay. Then another long rest.
Well, yeah, it's been most of a day. Yeah, then yeah, probably.
Yes. From Burnchander to Tourmaline, yes. Okay.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
No. This would be for later. Hey, if we're going into Lonelywood anyways, do we want to ask the mayor or something and see if we can get some info on where might be attacked next?
Are we even
Where's the moon
close
at?
to the cycle?
No, we can moon thing it like we did the
Moonbeam.
first time. Moonbeam it like we did the first time.
It was kind of sparking the last time.
That's true.
It
We
wasn't
don't have
really
to, but
working.
it's just a thought.
We could
It
try.
worked, but it worked, but it didn't work as well as it
We
did
would hope.
previously.
Right.
Okay.
Like it needed
I
to be
forgot about that.
recharged to some degree, I believe is what was said.
Yeah, we are. I guess we are only reaching the new moon once again. It's not like there's been an actual moon cycle since. So
I think the last time you guys were there,
I was with
when
Feline
in the
before
month?
we left.
When would that have been? That was probably before the full moon, I believe.
Yeah.
So there has been a full moon since.
We could go
I
there.
will say that much. I will say that much.
well, maybe something to think about. But we don't have to go. We can make that decision when we get up to Lonelywood and we see how much we can do in the woods.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay. So we're now to day 2. 2 more days until the sacrifice.
Yeah.
And you head over to Lonelywood. What would you guys like to do?
Is the sending this time to Duvessa just to say, hey, maybe
Yeah, if
Lonelywood
if
instead?
yeah, if you decide you can, just send who you can to Lonelywood.
Yeah, I basically said that.
Okay. And she says, militia is already on its way to Tourmaline.
Well, we'll
Well-
do this in the morning, and I'll leave a note with
Well, suppose if yeah,
Forrest.
yeah, we'll just tell Oris to send them along. Be like,
Forward them, sure. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yep, you can do that. Anything else, specifically in Lonelywood itself?
I think we'd probably be better off just heading into the forest like right now.
I mean, we should check on them. Like, I mean, just we probably don't want to linger over the scene, but it would be good to check and see if oh my gosh, character's name I'm forgetting.
Mimsy?
No.
Who?
If Nazmush is
Oh.
there and maintaining the inn that we may end up staying at.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that, absolutely. You guys want to meet up with Nazmush?
Sure.
I mean, even if it's just in the background, that's fine. But just like saying hello, seeing what he's done with the inn, and then
Sure. I mean,
heading
he's
off
so
into
yeah. You can head you can head over there, and he's been working pretty industriously, as he doesn't have any particular attachments in Lonelywood itself to keep him distracted.
Fair.
It's fairly clean. He's sort of patched up the roof a little bit. It's still drafty in some places, but it's probably livable a little bit at this point. And he will come up and says, "Oh, good to see you."
It's good to see you too, friend. How have things been here?
It's lonely in Lonelywood. Miss traveling, but also good to be quiet.
Um, and then yeah, beyond a little bit of catching up, just checking in on Nimsy for anything that she needs before we go on our raid.
Okay. Nimsy's the standard sort of be careful if you're heading up to the woods. That it's not entirely safe up there. Certainly a lot safer than it has been. But okay, so the plan is to head into the woods. Yes.
Yep.
Believe so.
Okay. All right. Well then. Let's see here. Things that I did not expect to have to do. All right.
After all that stuff, you're
No,
sorry.
no, it's all no, no, not at all. I can. We're gonna make something happen. It's okay.
I'm not sorry.
Okay. All right. So you head up to the woods, and the goal here is to sort of do what exactly?
I think specifically we want to keep our eyes out for awakened animals, and I mean,
We are hunting any and all agents
Yeah.
of Oral, whether
Okay.
they be Ravisson's awakened animals, Ravisson himself, Cold Light Walkers, anything Oral or those serving her could use to attack 10 towns and just cull them ahead of time.
Okay. So in that case, you guys
Frost
can
druids.
do investigation or survival. And we'll have you do a group check for this one.
Group check.
Check.
If
Oh
only
boy,
we
what?
had our Kosh.
Yeah.
So
it's cocked.
am I not in? I am. Just a different window.
I got 20
What-
for survival.
Are we? When you mean a group check, are we just doing one or
Yep.
the other? Or are we doing the one we're best at?
Well, I was going to say I think it was more like you guys were going to have to choose which one you'd rather do, but it looks like
Okay.
people have chosen survival as is, so it
People
looks
have
like it's going to be
chosen
survival.
That's
Okay.
unfortunate.
So we have 20,
Uh,
13, 15, 5, and 3.
we had some
Okay.
real bad rolls.
I will admit a 3 is bad enough that I don't think my int saves it.
Okay.
I mean,
so,
I rolled a nat 1, so...
Unfortunately, Hanu, if we're doing a group check, more of us have wisdom than intelligence, but also
Okay.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is, I mean, you guys are pretty familiar with the woods, but you guys have not really done a lot of. You guys have done some tracking in the woods, but not tracking of animals per se. And so it's very difficult for you to sort of figure out exactly what it is you're looking for, what constitutes, odd animal behavior versus regular animal behavior. And so we'll say that your search probably ends up taking you the better part of a day.
It's pretty fair.
But eventually you do discover something. And that something you discover is you hear talking. And I'm going to just do a couple things to prepare.
the thing is, we'd heard talking from animals before, but they were all talking about like their 401ks and like problems at work, and so those
Crypto.
were all normal animals. Yeah, they're really into crypto.
Now we killed the crypto
Hey,
wolves.
would you like to invest in Rime coin?
The crypto wolves.
We killed the crypto wolves. If we found crypto wolves, culled
Yeah.
immediately
Jesus Christ.
for the betterment of society.
Okay, I need just a second here.
I feel like we haven't had many montages before. It's good stuff.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about how we might handle this after you left last session.
Oh, gotcha.
What do you mean you were talking about how you would handle it?
Well,
Like, should I?
no,
Sounds
like how we
you-
were handling the whole city preparation deal.
Oh. And this is this what you guys had decided on?
You were part of the conversation, Wave.
Oh, you mean that? Yeah, I mean, I
He
thought
was
you meant
saying
something
I missed it.
specific.
No, he was saying I missed it because I jumped off.
Oh. 1 second. Sorry, I'm gonna need like 2 minutes. Sorry, guys.
That's fine.
Yeah, take a break
You're good.
or something if you want. But
Yeah, I mean, you guys can take a 5 minute break. You guys good with that?
yeah,
Okay, let's do that.
beer,
5 minutes to sit and drink mead? Sure.
Sure.
good mead.
It is
Is it
pretty good
mead?
mead.
It's good.
Yango, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
No. You just haven't said anything in like half an hour.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like listening.
Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all nerdy.
Yeah, you can put it like that.
Oh,
Haha.
recognize this battle map.
It's a
No,
battle
you,
map.
no, you don't. Who recycles battle maps, please?
Hey, hey, Wave.
Hmm.
It's a new battle map to me.
That's true. That is very
It's,
true.
it's new content. You're set.
I am.
But also, I'm spooked at the idea that we're on a battle map at all.
I mean, he said we heard
Spooked, I tell
voices.
you. I hear voices all of the time.
I don't think you do.
You don't hear the voices too?
Ha ha ha.
Because I think you need some chaos in your life then.
If I start hearing voices, I will commit myself to a hospital. I'll put it
Well,
that way.
as long as you don't go around trying to summon stuff from the warp, it's okay. I really want to play friggin' 40k now. God damn it. The voice lines are so good. Right up there with StarCraft for memes.
perhaps somewhat unsurprisingly, I've been tinkering with character ideas.
No.
What a shocker on that one.
I fixed the wizard I thought about rolling.
Oh yeah.
It is now the most overpowered that I
I
could
will
possibly
admit,
make it.
I will admit that for all that I complained a little bit, Wave, if
Back.
if Hanu ever goes, I have a zero backup plans.
I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, everyone back?
Monty?
I am.
Yango?
I'm here.
I
Great.
am.
It
And
sounds
everyone's
like we're
back.
here.
Okay. So yeah, so you guys hear talking from the forest. What would you like to do?
Like, ahead of us on this map here? To the north?
To the north somewhere, yeah.
Gesture at Azad.
Yeah, I do the sneak and look, I suppose.
Okay. Roll stealth, please.
Okay. What's it?
Good old
16?
sneak and look.
16 for
16,
stealth. Man, my dice are rolling terrible today.
All right, that's a decently low roll. That means I'm actually going to have to roll and see about.
Can they perceive me?
Yeah. All
They have
right.
disadvantage
Well,
on perception checks to see me.
oh yes, that is true. That we have never used that before.
Yeah, it's never come up because he's always rolled insanely high, but technically it matters.
Okay, that's fine. And that disadvantage coming in handy.
Good, good.
That disadvantage coming in very handy. And one more that I have to do. Okay. Oh, you're lucky, wee man. All right.
Okay.
Boy, oh boy.
He's not lucky. She's not lucky. She's
Well,
got
as
the
far as
She's very
Asad
skilled, though.
knows, she's sneaking around.
Yep.
So, I guess I see the beginnings of something there. Let me go up to this tree. Oh, that is a big boy. That looks a lot bigger than the ones we've seen before, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, a whole category size larger. Okay.
Yeah.
So she circles around this way. Try to get a look at some of this other stuff here.
Mhm.
Don't see anything. And these are just smaller boys,
No, they're pretty big themselves.
but smaller than the other guy.
No, probably about
The
the
same
same size.
size, but a different
Probably about the same
creature.
size. Yep.
Oh, they're okay.
You've actually seen something like that before.
Those are saber tooths, right?
You've seen something like this in the hold of the Dark Duchess.
trolls.
Ooh.
It was not alive at the time, though.
No,
Oh,
this is a saber
mind.
tooth.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to do, Asad?
I just see those three, I suppose. From what I can tell. Maybe circle back around to my little tree over here. Oh, nope, there's another one there. There's another one. So there's 4, at least,
Mhm.
that I can see.
Well.
Okay.
I will say from that distance, you cannot hear what is being said. So if you would like to hear what is being said, you will have to get a little bit closer, and you will have to roll a straight stealth check because it would be. Oh no, I guess it wouldn't be. It would be. No, you normally get advantage on stealth, right?
I always, yeah.
So then it would be just a straight up stealth check. They would still get disadvantage on perceiving you, but if you want to get closer to figure out what they're saying.
Just one die roll stealth check?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will try to get a little bit closer. 18.
18. All right. So I'm going to roll my disadvantaged stealth checks. Give me 1 second. Okay, that one's fine.
Cannot roll above a 10 today, it
This
appears.
one.
Still
That's
wild that that's how high your
Yeah, it's like
checks
can't
are.
roll
Yeah,
above a 10.
seriously.
It's an 18.
That one's also fine, and
I have
the
advantage
finale.
and expertise.
This is the last one. This is the one that matters. I think you're good. Yep, you are good. You can
Okay,
get closer.
so then I would probably
Okay.
take a path something like this. To
Mhm.
here. This seems like the most covered path. And I'd get up to this tree, which I presume is pretty close. I'm like within 30 feet
Yeah.
of him.
Yep. So you hear, at that distance, you hear 5 separate voices.
Okay, so I missed someone.
2 of which are low and growly, 2 of which are higher and growly, and 1 of which sounds, by comparison, relatively normal.
Like human?
And if you were to hazard a guess, it's not often you get to hear animals talking, but you have sort of grown accustomed to what they sound like when they speak. And the one voice sounds different from the other 4, let's put it that way.
Okay.
And you hear them discussing, and they say, "How much longer do we have to wait? I am thirsting." And the smaller, more normal sounding voice says, "We must wait, we must be patient. If the towns go back on their agreement and their word, we will make them pay in the name of Aurel. If they don't, you will have to find your meals elsewhere, as you always have." And one of the other growling voice says, "But we have a taste now. It's hard to go back." And the quieter voice says, "Well, then you are more than welcome to try your luck on your own. But even though humans are smaller and frailer than you, I do not see you faring well against an entire town of them at any given time. If we attack together in a pack, as we were meant to, then we will see the success we need. We must keep them afraid and isolated." And another one of them says, "And why are we limited to just the towns by the forest? What about those with the larger populations?" And the voice says again, "This is where we are stationed. This is where we are to be. We are going to look over the westernmost town. There will be someone looking over to the east, to the northeast, and finally, she will be just south of here. Do not upset her." And that's what you get.
Fuck.
Okay,
Fuck indeed.
I cannot
Yeah.
help myself. Asad absolutely wants to try to see who that last voice is.
Sure. Go ahead. Show me what you're. Show me your pathing. We'll see if you have to roll anything else on this.
So, I know there's
Oh.
one here. I know that. Well, no, the big ones are up here. This one, the big one,
Bet
right?
I can't help you out.
The big one's here, right? And this one's here. Like I would remember about where they were.
Yeah, the 2 larger ones are about there. Yes.
And then the 2 smaller ones
And
are in this
there's
area.
one on the. So yeah, there's one on the other side. 1 or 2 on the other side of that tree.
Okay.
You can hear with where you are, the smaller, more calm voice is further to the north.
Like back here. Right? Something like that?
Something like that.
Okay.
So remember, you are not invisible.
I know I'm not invisible.
So we'll see how this goes.
I'm well aware.
Right, I'm waiting. You wherever you choose to move, we'll see what happens.
Huh. I think the absolute safest route would be to go all the way around. Like something like this.
Okay, sure.
And then
we see Asad pass by for a second, and then pop back up.
How far is she when she pops out?
Fucking hell.
When we see her.
I mean, she would be like 30 feet from us. Basically.
Only a couple of you caught a glimpse of her very silently moving past. She's good at what she does.
Oh, that's true.
So the question is, if I saw her, then I would think that to try and do this telepathically.
Then I would like you to roll perception then. No, I'd like you to roll perception because to see if you actually saw her as she was stealthing.
No,
Oh boy.
you did not.
Oh
You
boy.
don't see her.
Oh boy.
All right.
Oh boy. Hey
All
brother,
right.
what's that over there?
Pretty sure it's the wind. Shush. Asad's sneaking
Fuck,
around.
still can't.
The forest is dense.
Fuck.
Yeah, it is.
So if this thing, oh shit. Okay, I see a little bit.
You
of
do
something.
catch a glimpse. You catch a glimpse of a humanoid figure from there.
Ah, shit. Does it? It looks relatively
Hard.
druidic, from what I can see.
Roll perception for me.
Roll
with
perception.
disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Sure,
yes,
sure.
the forest is dark and you don't have a direct line of sight, so disadvantage.
Disadvantage, I get a 10.
Okay. You can tell it is definitely humanoid. You're not really sure what would constitute something that looks druidic, per se. But you can tell it is definitely human.
Okay. Alright.
Do we ever get an indication of Ravison's species? Is she a human?
We're fairly
I don't know if you ever had direct confirmation.
Okay, then we make like this. Back to the party.
Yep.
We fill them in on what we heard.
Yep.
To some degree, and
Okay.
we say that there is a human right there. And that there are 4 animals, large awakened animals there as well. But they are planning to attack the towns. But these are isolated right now.
It sounds like
So we go get him.
we gotta get down to Tourmaline. Is that
Benefactor have some contact with the others? Because that could be bad.
I mean, the idea from coming out here was a preemptive strike. No?
No, I get that, but
So the human has walked off.
No.
No.
Okay.
They are stationed there, were the words that was said. They're in this area. They're just chilling right now.
Yeah,
So what you get,
the idea is preemptive strike. Go ahead.
I'll sort of reiterate what you gather from what Asad sort of passes on is it seems as though there are likely to be 4 towns that are being watched. And what you heard is one to the west, which is where this particular group is going, where this particular group is likely to be headed. One to the south, one to the east, and one to the northeast.
So we think it's East Haven, Caraconic, Lonely Wood, and either Tourmaline or Targos or Bremen.
Yeah.
Hold on. So we're currently in Lonely Wood. So there's one to the north. You said what were the four
So
directions?
what I said was somewhere. So it said town to the west.
Okay.
Okay. To the south.
To
I
the
guess considering where the
south
Lonelywood Forest.
close of
Let
here.
me sorry. Let me redo that. Let me redo that a little bit. Okay, to make it a little more. So we'll say south still, southwest, southeast, and east.
From
Okay,
here.
so that's probably Lonelywood, Tourmaline, Caer Dineval, and Caer Konig. Could
Potentially.
be East Haven instead of Caer Dineval, but it's one or the other of those and the other three mentioned.
Yeah,
Yes.
the she will be. Which one was that? Was that would be for the
The one
southwest?
To the
close to here.
south. To the
Or
south.
the south. Okay, so the worst is going to be in
Tourmaline.
Lonelywood
Tourmaline.
or one of the two.
Tourmaline's gonna get the worst of it.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
this is the group that's supposed to come after Lonelywood. If we
So
take them
we
out,
absolutely need to take them out so that we can
Go
be
to
there for
Tourmaline.
Tourmaline.
Yep.
so we're going in.
I mean, I think we unload, but it's a question of what can we unload from where. I'm literally checking spell ranges
It's
at this
pretty
point.
hard from this, like, once we get up to this tree that you can see, potentially, you're within
Yep.
range of a few beasts. The human is pretty far back. They're all the way back there,
Well, I mean,
if you can see
we
that
just
ping.
take out as many. We take out as many as possible. From you, 60 feet is up there, and I'm assuming that's where some of the things were. And I'm
They're
fine
like
with blind fire.
70 or 80 feet.
Ah, fuck. Okay.
They're closer to here.
Then,
But, like, getting up to here isn't that hard, I don't think.
well, I mean,
I should get in
only if
position.
Only if Oris wants to cover the rest of us, because otherwise Hanu and I are going to clank our way up there, and that's all she wrote. If we
I
want to
do
get
not have
surprised.
Pass Without Trace prepared right now.
How about
Bummer.
this? Strategically speaking, I should go and get the flank. I want to take out the druid immediately, or the
Yes,
humanoid.
please.
Yeah, that's a good call.
So the very first strike should be me going in, hammering on the humanoid, and then as that happens, you guys can be in position, like can get into position and go in.
You tell my brother, and we'll charge just as the arrow hits.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. So I make my way back up here.
I
Tele-
set up the
yeah.
telepathic. Yeah.
So I make my way back over here. I am not close enough. 45 feet. Could I say that, like, we go around a little bit here, where I'm, like,
What do you mean?
off
Yeah.
the map to some degree?
Yeah. Sure.
Like, within 30 feet.
Where do you want to move? Show me where you want to move, and I will move you.
Like, here. Like, up here, above this. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yep. I'll move you here to start, so you can kind of see a little bit more.
Okay.
And then there's another tree. We'll put you. Yeah, we can put you back there.
Yeah, something like this. Within 30 feet, where me running in, I would be able to reach them first without having to, like, dash or anything. That's the plan.
Okay. Yep.
You don't want me to roll anything for that?
If you want to go first, I mean, you've already rolled basically 2 stealth rolls on this, so I will give you
Okay.
a surprise attack.
Okay. So
You have successfully hidden from them twice. There is no
Right.
reason why you
Okay.
shouldn't be able to get in a surprise on this.
all right. So that's the plan then. I'm going in. If I get my surprise attack, I'm literally just running up to them right here, and then I'm gonna like do my thing.
Okay. So let's then 1 second here. We'll just play some music because why the hell not?
It seems like a good time.
Yeah. Let's have. Let me just make sure. Yeah. Let's have everyone roll initiative, just so I kind of know how this goes.
Okay.
Okay.
Terrible initiative. Good thing I have.
At least one round to do something with it.
Yeah.
The rest of us are ready, like Hanu.
Oh, I'm ready.
Oh, someone else is definitely ready too, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's okay.
Hold on. Trying to find my. Oops. Hold up. Yeah. Well, 6. is what I'm going on. Roll to. There we go.
I'm gonna grab
Well,
this
basically the
D20.
same. There we go.
All right.
Unfortunate.
Time to find out if you can pet the dog in D&D.
We can indeed
Okay.
pet the
Yeah,
dog.
somehow I doubt that.
Okay. So yeah, you get your surprise round, Asad.
All right. So, bonus action, channel divinity. Mark them as my,
Absolutely.
vow of enmity. So I get my first attack at advantage. She's like oddly just completely silent.
Mhm.
Whoa. None of those are a crit, but that's a 16 plus 7, 23, I imagine. Does it?
That hits.
Okay.
So that hits for Kopesh plus 6. Whoa. 13 damage
Mm-hmm.
on the first hit.
Yep.
And then attack number 2.
Yep.
20 to hit.
Hits.
And I would just go ahead and burn my level 2 Divine Smite.
Sure.
One of my level 2 Divine Smites. So they're not undead, right?
They're not.
Okay, so I get 3d8. 9, 16, 18 plus 6, 24 damage?
So 37 total.
Yes.
Whew. All right, a strong hit. She wheels around after being basically like this, sort of the energy that sort of the Raven Queen, sort of that dark energy just kind of comes down, and she's like almost almost drops to her knees immediately, the breath knocked out of her, and she stands up and roars this sort of like almost like this inhuman sound you would expect to come from her, and immediately the creatures below you are alerted. It is now her turn. And what she is going to do, let's see. She is going to,
I do know why the dogs are.
okay. She's going to sort of wave her hand, and immediately a weapon, a sickle formed entirely out of ice, forms in her hands. A very, very similar thing. You've seen this somewhere before.
Kind of like 7.
And she will attack you.
Mm-hmm.
17.
Nope. Clangs off the shield.
And second one does not hit. Okay.
Hard.
She then, let's see here. As a bonus action, she sort of starts to shudder, and all of a sudden her where was once sort of this humanoid shape,
Right.
there's like almost like a wolf pelt on her head that starts to sort of go down over her face,
Mhm.
and she has now taken the form of a wolf. Albeit a smaller one than previously. We'll just kind of put this up here for now. Anu.
Let's. I know they're very far away. I don't really have.
You know the general direction they are, but
Yeah, but. Still don't see them. And I can't ready an action after moving, right? So it'll just be a matter of moving up again.
Mm-hmm.
you can ready an action after moving.
You can't. Yeah,
but
no. If you're moving twice, you can't.
Yeah, no. But if I move once and ready something,
You can move once and ready something, yes.
But you would like.
I can.
But you have to say what you're readying and what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
No, you know,
What
I
the-
don't actually got it ready, because it'll be alright. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna move my extra 30 feet. I can still
Okay.
take. I can still take a react. I can still use my reaction.
Yep,
thing
you can use a
because-
reaction, yes.
Yeah, cool. Okay. You think I'd know all this stuff, right?
It's okay.
That's not what I wanted to do. Why are you scrolling down? I don't want to scroll down.
What are you doing?
I'm just trying to draw to make sure that I'm
Oh.
moving the right way.
Okay.
That is walkable, right? Yeah, that's walkable. Yams was
Yeah.
walking all over it. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
you can walk. You can walk almost pretty much almost everywhere. The trees are more line of sight than they are obstructive per se.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Okay, Horus.
Okay, where was the roughly the direction of where the druid or whatever there was up there?
This way, yeah.
Yep. Far to the north, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting a definite ping in the darkness right now.
That is probably the closest target to you guys.
Ah, I see a wolf.
That's not the druid wolf. That's just the big bad wolf.
Okay, so I don't know where the actual
You can't
druid
see it.
is from where...
It's a little bit farther north than that. Not very far from it, but
Okay,
if you can
well,
see that one, taking aggro off of me is still a good idea.
Well, let's see. I've got a 120-foot range on the spell I'm about to cast. Let
Yeah.
me just do a quick measurement.
You'll get there easy.
Okay, so what's the radius on this? It's a 5-foot radius, so I'm gonna target it right there.
Okay, 5 foot
I'm
radius.
gonna cast Moonbeam.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
If you could target it
So
right above it.
it's a 5-foot radius.
Okay.
Okay, so show me the square you're hitting.
So I'm just basically where the wolf's head is, right there.
Where the
So
wolf's
it's-
head is? Okay, yep. And that's it's
right.
a 5.
So it's a 5-foot radius that's gonna hit like all that and all the squares around.
Okay,
it.
so we can make a little circle that's going to look a little
And
bit
let
like
me post that to the chat because it's a very
this,
important,
I believe.
very
If-
important functionality here.
There sure is.
Why did that not change the?
Shape changer thing. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm going to do it again.
Hmm?
So there, Master Moonbeam right there, right?
Yes. So
Okay.
any creature that starts its turn in there is going to make a Constitution saving throw, taking 2d10 radiant damage on a failed save.
Yes.
If it's a shape changer, they make that saving throw with disadvantage,
Yes.
and if they fail, they instantly revert. So
Yes.
that'll be for something later. Horus will
Mhm.
also do his usual thing. He's going to take the starry form of the archer.
Yep.
And is going to take his shot at the thing he can see.
Yes. 17, I believe, does hit. Yes. 11 radiant damage. All right.
One other interesting question is if the 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder illuminates anything else for the rest of us. Though it is dim light, so maybe not.
Again, the issue isn't necessarily.
It's line of sight.
It's line of sight that is
Okay.
causing the problems here for you guys. It's not necessary. So, I mean, you can see now exactly where everything is going down, but you
Yep.
can't necessarily see things, I can actually, you know what? Maybe I could do this. There, did that do anything for you guys?
Yeah,
Just a little bit.
I mean, I definitely get a better view on there being something there now. So that's kind of what I was looking for, anyways.
Okay, I see that I
You missed by a bit.
a little bit. It's fine.
It's okay. You can move it.
Parmux.
All right, here we go, brother.
Come on, brother.
1,
Get us
2,
in there.
3, 4, 5.
I'm not too close to them.
It's what I'm good at.
I was gonna say, you say not too close. You know exactly where you're going.
Yeah.
I would say I probably can't see this one up there, right? Like, me personally, I can see a clip of Asod and a clip of this thing. Is that enough for sight?
Sorry, say that again. Is that enough for sight?
So
Can you see?
I can see just barely Asod and just barely the thing that Asod
Yeah,
is
you can
attacking.
see. If you can see just barely the thing next to Asad, then you can hit the thing that's just barely next to
Sick.
Asad.
Okay, 55 feet. I summon my spiritual weapon on the other side of the moonbeam.
Okay.
And this time it's a sun.
Okay.
Um,
A sun that will physically bash its face against.
fucking. Well, actually, its rays are going to strike out at it. But
All right,
yes.
sure.
So I summon
Okay.
a sun.
Yeah.
And I yell across, making a ton of assumptions that Parmux is going to make. Is like, the light comes for you now, Ravison. We'll see if that shakes anything up. So, I am going to attack with my spiritual weapon.
Does not hit.
Entirely, and then
Okay.
I will toll the dead the same person. So
Okay.
DC 14 Wisdom, my fucking
14
god.
wisdom save.
Please
All
fail.
right.
Be the
You're a
dumbest.
druid, though.
Be the
know,
stupidest
druid,
druid on the planet.
Yeah, no, this
Uh,
druid has a pretty good.
Probably
wisdom
like plus
save.
7, plus 8.
It's
Yeah.
a druid. Speaking as a druid, they're gonna have high wisdom.
All right, that is that, I believe.
I assume that the druid succeeded.
Okay.
I
It did. It
just-
did
okay,
succeed.
okay,
Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, I did my thing.
Okay. So what's going to happen now? It is these things' turn. These
I'm
rather
gonna
large
die.
amounts of
I'm
damage. So
Fine.
this
gonna
one
We
die.
got you.
is going to, let's see. This one is going to leap straight up, like over top of everything. This is a large cat, and the speed at which it moves and jumps over is baffling to you. It sort of jumps right up here, and it will. Please make a strength saving throw, please.
Oh
Asa.
god. Oh no. That's a 4.
You are knocked prone.
Yikes. Okay.
And then it will attack you
At advantage.
at advantage. Yes, it will. Let me actually just, you know what? I really should bring this up somewhere else so that I can roll directly. I'm a big idiot. I should have been doing this the whole time. 1 second. Because
Yeah.
this is actually on D&D Beyond. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so with advantage, so 22, I'm assuming hits.
Yep.
Okay, and so you will take 11 piercing damage.
You can take that.
Sure, sure.
You can take it.
The second one is going to move up. It's not going to be able to jump at you because there's just too much shit in the way, but it is absolutely going to gun for you because you dare. And where's it gonna
I
go,
do dare,
though?
actually.
Not a lot of room for it. It's gonna kind of
I do indeed
walk
dare.
around the tree. Cats are generally pretty live and has no trouble sort of moving around through that area. And it's going to attack with its claw here. That is a miss.
Whoosh.
Asad, you are prone.
I spend half my movement to get up.
Mhm.
And then I will use my bonus action to
Get the fuck out of there, I assume.
cast Hunter's Mark
Oh, all right.
on this creature.
I like it.
Who do you think you're dealing with, dude?
The enemy's gate is down.
He was just talking about fixing his new character.
Okay, all right.
So I cast Hunter's Mark on that character, and now I attack.
All right, hold on a second. Let me just put on the hunter's mark. We'll just do that.
Sure.
Okay, and you're attacking it, yes?
Yep. 26 to hit. Damn, almost
That
crit.
hits.
Nice.
For 9 plus 6 is 15 damage.
Yep, that hits. Absolutely.
Attack number 2, 23 to hit.
Mhm. That hits.
Do level 1 Divine Smite on this attack.
Yes.
That's 10, 18, 20 plus 6, 26.
26 damage. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah. That wolf's looking pretty rough. Anything else?
No, that's my whole turn.
Okay. Now
The
it's
big
these
boy.
guys. Now it's these guys' turn. The spiritual weapon, does it takes up
It does
a
not.
space?
No.
It does not. You can
It
just
doesn't.
jump on it.
Okay. All right. Well,
They will eat some moonbeam.
That's
One of
what's-
them will.
yeah. So I mean, this one's gonna eat him. Now, hold on. The moonbeam
Con
is. Let me
spell.
just see. Yeah. Hold on a
Concentration,
second.
Constitution saving throw.
If it enters their spell area for the first time or starts its turn, yeah. Okay. So that's fine. All right. So it's gonna make a con save. Con save. That is a success, I believe. 15.
Let's see. What is my thing? My thingy is 15. Yeah, so it barely makes the save. It
Okay.
takes 7 damage.
It takes how much? Sorry, 7?
7
Seven.
damage.
7 damage. Okay, perfect. And our wolfy boy is going to attack you.
Sure.
And it gets advantage.
Oh, right, pack tactics.
Yes, indeedy.
Yeah.
Didn't
That's a
even need to knock
miss.
you prone.
And that, I think it's also a miss, a 16.
Yeah, miss. 16th miss.
All right. Yep. This one is going to come around and just sort of surround you from all. They're gonna actually. This can't even get there. It's so big. I don't know if it can even get there.
It's kind of hard.
Yeah, I don't think it can even get to you.
The disadvantage
Come
of
to
the
think
chomp.
of it. Yeah, it's,
mean-
it's a little bit. Let's say it's a little bit too big to get over to you right
I'm
now.
pretty much already surrounded, as it turns out.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So it's gonna come down here instead. And oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if it has to
It's
walk
gonna
through the
come-
moonbeam, it takes the moonbeam.
I mean, we'll say it's smart enough to avoid it.
Sure.
And it's going to attack our boy Hanu.
Ooh.
That's a miss. Okay, Gomdoon.
All right, I'm gonna shove us up 5 feet. See if I
Yep.
get a little better vantage point on this boy. And I'm going to cast an enemies abound on them.
Okay,
Is that a whiz save, though?
So, intel save.
Oh, okay.
in save. Okay. All right. 15. Okay, let's see.
Yep. How smart is he?
That's a 21.
Smart enough.
Bam. All right. Well, that's my turn.
Okay. It's gonna go. It's going to shift out of its wolf form because it's actually done. Actually, you know what? It's gonna move first. And it's
Well-
gonna risk the attack of opportunity.
That's
Moonbeams?
very
Or is it not
dumb.
in it?
That's not in it.
Oh, okay.
I think. Let me just see here.
He's ready.
Yeah, it's gonna risk the attack of opportunity.
I mean, I still have advantage.
Decent speed. Yeah, that's fine.
Fuck.
Go ahead.
14 is the highest roll.
Unfortunate.
God, what?
Does
3
not get
dice!
there.
I roll a 4, a 5, and a 7.
Does not get there. Okay, so just gonna run down.
Wow.
Let's see here.
My dice are cursed.
We're just about.
Where's my dice bag? More d20s, please.
Here. That's good.
Brother, we've got to get
Yeah.
him. Can't let him get
I'm going to
away.
shift back,
These are not d20s.
and she's going to yell. Now, who is it who mentioned Ravison?
My
That was
brother.
me.
And she says, sort of with this labored breathing, "How dare you evoke our Grand Mistress's name?"
Oh fuck.
Can't let her escape.
And let's see here. We're going to get a. Let's make it
I have
this
like
color here.
35 bajillion more
and
d20s.
Let's see here.
Ams, how many dice do you have?
So
Lots.
it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 about there, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Many, many dice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about there, I think. That I think is about right. Let me just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, about there. Okay, it's about there.
Just running away.
Yeah, about there.
Okay.
So I think that does it. So
Silly, silly person.
you guys, everyone in that area, please make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Come on, brother.
Let's see. I don't know if I have any cover from this.
Am I
You guys do not have cover from this.
in it? Wait.
Oh, you
You are
didn't need
actually
it.
in it.
Okay.
You are
Wait.
in this.
Okay, cool. Just I'm right on.
Okay.
On the cusp. Wave.
I think those are successes for.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
successes
would hope
for
so.
Hanu and Monty. So you guys will take. Let's just see here. I gotta roll a
I
little
don't
bit
have
here.
inspiration for
I'm
any
just
reason,
gonna,
do I?
I'm just gonna click off the absorb elements beforehand.
I absolutely believe you have inspiration for something.
I don't know if that's true. I think I may have spent it already. Even the last
Okay,
one I
so
got, I think was,
that is 5 bludgeoning damage for Hanu and Horus, and
And 20
11,
Oh,
22
22 for
God.
Gomdun and Parmax, and
I'm just clicking off the absorb elements right now.
same thing, 5 cold damage for Hanu and Horus, and another 22, so 11.
Yeah, so it'll be 33
11.
damage total.
As giant hailstones just start raining down from the sky in this area.
I am gonna pop
Ow.
the absorb elements for the set for the ice one for me.
Okay, so you pop an absorb elements too, then, and you only take 2, I guess.
That only
So 5
that's,
and 2.
Yeah, so you take 7
use the
total.
absorb elements for 3 HP.
I mean, no, that's the damage that I get, right? I'll get.
Oh,
3
that's
damage.
true. Yeah, you get the damage infusion. That's right.
Okay, and that is
They're probably
her
cold
turn.
resistant anyway, but you know.
Yeah, if they're like
Hannah, go
winter
ahead.
wolves or whatever.
Sorry, wife.
Your
Go.
turn, Hannah.
It's your turn.
Your
Okay.
turn.
No, I thought you wanted to say something else too. All right.
Nope.
Hannah's just gonna look at the big wolf in front of him and saying, "You've done enough harm to the 10 pounds," and then we'll see if I follow it up.
Those both hit.
Bam, bam.
Yeah.
Bam, bam.
Use the absorb.
Oof.
17.
And
All right.
Is it
Very
3 to both, or is it only 3 to the first?
It's to 1. It's the next attack.
So 20.
Yeah, it's next attack.
20
So,
total
yeah.
damage.
Oh, so 20
20.
total. Okay.
20
Very
damage.
nice. Beautiful. All right.
Well, no. It's an extra 1d6. It's not the amount you absorb.
He
Yeah.
He rolled the
rolled
1d6
it.
already.
He rolled
totally
it
missed
already.
it. Oh, he
Or
just
is-
happened to roll the same amount that
Yes.
he absorbed.
Yes.
That's my bad.
Horus.
When I cast the spell, it
Okay.
it rolls it in.
Horace, get out of there.
Sure. Is this difficult terrain or anything?
It is difficult terrain.
It is.
I should have
Okay.
moved. Why didn't I move?
Shoot.
You really
Alright, so
should.
that's
I mean,
gonna
you
really
still
limit.
can.
So that's gonna be 20 feet just to move
it.
Oh,
here.
PS concentration, right?
Wait, can I take a 5-foot step over to get out of the circle before?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Monty,
Guess
you
I
have to roll
wanna
concentration, right?
I did.
Oh, did you?
That's
Okay.
what the 21 concentration.
I didn't see that.
save
Okay,
was.
yes. I did not see that.
Sorry, wife.
Okay, so I can't.
Lost a
let's see,
die.
I need to take a quick look at something. Okay, so that's a thing I can certainly do. Cool. So I knew, like, I heard her running away. I kind of know where she is.
Okay.
I mean, like, creatures aren't hidden unless they
No,
try to
you're
hide.
right, but you can't. I mean, yeah,
She
that's
can't-
fair.
I can't
Has
see
to
her,
tell-
but I don't
She
need to
has
see
tell
her.
from where she was.
No,
Like,
that's true.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's fair.
don't need to see her to move my
Sure.
moonbeam
Yeah, your
directly
moonbeam.
on top of her.
Okay. Yeah,
so
that's
I'd
fine.
like to do that.
All right, then let's do that.
Okay,
Moonbeam
you
has
have.
moved.
I think you've got control of it.
Yeah, I do. I moved it.
Okay, and then I think I'm just going to so I'll do that, and then I'm just going to zap the nearest wolf that's right near the twins and Hanu or whatever.
Yep.
Does
That hits.
does the storm itself obscure vision?
I don't think so.
If it's Ice
No.
Storm, I don't think
It
so.
does not. It does not.
Okay, and that is Orus's turn.
That is Horus's turn. Okay, perfect. That wolf is looking damaged. Parmax,
All right.
you
I have
are in
some-
a.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some questioning. So, this
Taking a
square,
beating.
obviously there in the storm, right?
Mhm.
This square, obviously in the storm. How about
Yes.
this one right next to Hanu?
Yes,
Okay.
because it's a 20 radius, 20
Anything
like
that's
20 foot radius sphere.
overlapped by the circle counts.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but this one would not be.
No, it would not be.
Okay. So that's 35 feet of movement right there, unfortunately.
I can no longer see what's going on.
Or we could take an attack of opportunity from the wolf and get a little farther.
Yeah, that is a good question.
But we could also get tripped if we do that, which could be really bad.
So I'm going to do that instead because I have a goal. And I'm going to take 5 more feet.
Okay.
I am going to... gosh, now I need to do some spiritual weapon shenanigans.
Yeah, Wave, can you give us vision over our spiritual weapon?
Well, that's the question. Can he?
I mean,
when you cast a spell, you can make a melee
You
spell
could vision
attack.
around it, but just
what are you trying to do?
where
Just
it
tell me what
is.
you're trying to do.
Well, no, there's 2 things I'm trying to do, and I'll get to the second one. I just,
Okay.
it does say I don't need to see the target of my spiritual weapon, so I'll attack the wolf that's nearest it.
Okay.
So
Go for
that's
it.
going to be easy. Spiritual weapon, level 2,
That hits.
22 at H4 damage. Okay, great.
That hits.
So I slash the wolf with the sun, or the sun's rays, like, impale the wolf slightly near
Yep.
Asad. Now, I pull out the yellow vial from our bag of holding, one of
Oh, nice.
Okay.
I throw it at,
That's the stun vial, I think, right?
Yeah.
it is the stun vial.
Stun.
Actually,
Okay.
I don't. Brother, can you deliver this better than my arm could?
Probably not.
Well, then I'm throwing it. Alright, so I throw it at
Yeah.
him.
Okay. So give me 1 second. I have to fucking look up my stat block. Give me just a second.
Yep.
You did this to yourself.
Just a second. I think I have it right here.
I don't feel bad for you on this one, buddy.
Yeah, here it is. Okay. Okay. So
Man, I lost a
so I
d20.
think in your case this would have to be going to have to be a ranged attack roll.
Yes.
So make a ranged attack.
Leading question, would you count this as a thrown weapon? The difference is I can use my strength instead of my dex.
Yeah, why not?
would.
Sure.
Then 1d20 plus 6. 21.
Nice.
And that absolutely hits. Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, this is stun spore. Okay, she has to succeed on a.
Wisdom saving throw.
Nope.
No,
Constitution.
Oh, it's
Con.
con! Oh, yeah. That might be better.
Constitution.
That's right, I didn't
Okay.
roll above a
Let's
10
see.
on that one.
And this is the only yellow one you had, I believe, right?
That's correct.
Yeah,
I had
okay.
2 purples but 1
You
yellow.
have 2 purples and 1 yellow. Okay, so she has to roll con saving throw, which she fails the con saving
Alright.
throw.
That should also
She is
end
now
the storm.
stunned.
That should also end the
1
ice
minute.
storm.
Yeah, it should.
The ice storm is not concentration.
Isn't? Oh.
It is not.
Cool
Oh, you're
blessing.
Oh yeah, it's not. That's right. Interesting. Yeah, good call.
Okay. Is that it, Parmux?
That is it.
Okay. Cat time.
Come at me.
So
Hey, Zod,
They-
I have one question for you.
Huh?
Can you take it?
I'm getting out on my turn. It'll be fine.
I'm kidding.
I don't
I'm
get
kidding. I'm kidding.
okay.
I wasn't gonna try and begin
1
with,
cat
but yeah.
attack. That's a 19.
19 just hits.
10 piercing damage.
Okay.
Second cat attack. That is a miss.
I maintain concentration.
Okay. Asad.
I use my bonus action this turn to
Yes.
GTFO.
GTFO. All right, get the hell out.
We are using one of the Blessing of the Raven Queen.
Yep.
30 feet. I can easily close the distance here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to make that check, do I? If I'm within the
I'm
5
pretty
feet?
sure. I don't think he gets to
When a
choose
creature.
who takes the damage.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
you have
so I
to
mean-
take it.
Fuck it, I don't care.
Or he could use a range.
Yeah, you have
range
resistance.
weapon. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have resistance to
Forgot
necrotic only, actually.
No,
Alright,
but you
go
ever
for it.
is it only necrotic? I thought you have resistance.
Oh, I have
Everything
resistance
after
to
you use
everything.
that.
True, yeah.
Not always OP as
Yeah,
much.
13 plus 4, 17. Oh, it's con.
That's-
16. That passes.
Yeah, but you still take half damage.
Yeah, so whatever 2d.
Oh, you take half of half damage.
Yeah, whatever. Just roll your 2d10 for me.
2d10.
And then I rolled exactly 10 for my
Lucky.
concentration. So I
Oh,
maintain
sorry, am I
concentration.
rolling something?
Yeah.
I
You said
took
your moonbeam.
I took your moonbeam. So
Oh,
roll,
okay,
roll the
sorry.
damage.
I will roll the damage. Bam.
It can't be more than
Nice.
20. Yeah, so I take
Okay, so you take
2 damage.
2 damage. Yeah. that's
I rolled exactly
Okay.
10 on my concentration check to maintain Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
I have a billion dice to roll.
All right. You have a stunned druid in front of you.
21 to hit. Stun
That
does
hits.
not give automatic
Oh
crits,
no,
right?
it's absolutely incapacitated. So you get advantage. I'm pretty sure.
No, critical hits is what matters. It's not an auto critical.
I don't think it's critical hits. No.
Yeah, it's not an auto critical. So.
No.
First hit is 10 damage. That's terrible rolls.
Okay. It hits. 10 damage. She looking rough.
Stun creature is incapacitated.
Oh,
Natural
Literally
20.
the first thing-
Natural
literally
20.
the first thing in the
Look at that red die on the stream right now. That says 20.
Alright.
That does.
I mean, I'm assuming you can deal 12 damage. So tell me what this looks like.
No. Let me roll the dice, Wave.
There's no way you don't deal 12 damage here.
No, but look, give him his crit. Give him
Yeah,
his
sure.
crit.
I know, but I'm just telling you, you're going to kill her. So just.
Let me roll the dice first.
Yep.
Okay, that's 3, 5, 6. That's 14 plus 15. Oh my god, 7, 8, 8 on 3d8. 23 plus 14 is 37.
37, yeah.
Plus 2d6. 41 plus 6. 47 damage in a crit
Yeah, I mean, you.
with the first level Divine Smite.
Yeah, you fucking really kill her.
So I super duper kill her.
Yeah, you fucking. I mean, here, what does it look like? You
So
wanna
she's-
roll them dice.
She's standing there in the middle of the moonbeam, and Asad just runs up to her. Asad runs up to her and says, "I made a vow to protect the 10 towns, and you are the first symbol of that commitment." And she slashes her across the chest, presumably dealing a mortal wound.
I mean, more than presumably.
Yes.
You slice her basically so hard, you don't realize quite how deep it's going. And laced with your Raven Queen sort of energy, you bisect her completely. She's unable to move or speak as she falls to 2 pieces to the ground.
And I will move out of the moonbeam as I do that. I use like 15, so I'll move like here or something.
Okay. Wolf time.
Wolfie wolves.
Wolfie's gonna come down here.
Wolfie.
And it's gonna attack Hanu with advantage. 18?
18 does not.
Does not hit. Okay, second wolf is gonna do the same thing. That's misses. All right, Gomdun.
Alright, seeing as I can only see the wolves, let's see. What do you call a wolf that's also a lumberjack?
What?
Is this?
It's hideous laughter. On both of them.
Oh,
What, I mean, wait, is there a punchline?
A timber wolf.
Fuck off.
Alright, give me 2 wisdom saves, dude.
All right. If these succeed, you get inspiration.
You mean if they fail the roll?
No, yeah, if I meant if this attack succeeds. I mean, what is it? Wisdom for both of them?
Wisdom, yeah.
Okay, so here's one. That's a crit success. 21.
Oh, no.
18. They both succeed.
Aw, come on.
Inspiration denied.
Damn.
Do they take any? They don't take anything, right?
Don't do
No,
anything.
Nothing happens, right? Okay. All right.
yeah, it's a
Hanu.
save or suck.
Alright.
It's mostly been me doing the sucking with these.
It's the one to the left
Well,
is
that's
the one
good.
that I hit before. So,
Yeah.
uno, deux.
They both hit. So 11 damage and
I
something
rolled-
else.
Why did it roll the damage on the?
Man, I don't know what it is you do when
Hanu.
you roll your dice, dude.
I have no
I
clue.
click,
I don't know what you're doing.
21.
Click.
All right.
I click the 7.
All right. That one wolf you've been attacking is looking mighty rough.
I'm just glaring at it.
Yep. Horus.
Pun resistant.
Alright, Orus cannot see shit right now. He needs to move 5, 10. He can see 2 wolves. You can see Assad. I guess he'll move another. I can't see the dead druid, but he probably
I'm sorry, I
heard the
actually would have
sound of
shoved this
somebody
here,
being
probably.
bisected.
You heard
Yeah.
Assad basically like.
You just heard Assad make her usual dramatic speech when she kills someone. You've grown used to this.
Yeah. Well, I think the right move right now is not to move the moonbeam. I think the right move is to do the Oru special, which is the twinned guiding bolt.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
So on the 2
Please.
wolves, you can see starting with the one on the left.
Starting with the one on the left, yes.
Guiding bolt number 1.
Indeed.
That's a hit.
Guiding bolt number 2.
That's also a hit.
All right, and Horus is going to
That
fire
first
an
wolf
advantage.
is just barely on its feet.
Well, he's luminous arrowing that one. Apparently not.
Apparently, the luminous arrow goes right in between the 2 wolves, and the wolf is still up.
Apparently,
Parmax.
Horus needs glasses. Horus is going to duck behind the trees again because he
Yep.
can do that.
I wanted
You
to
can.
forward.
Parmax.
I will call my spiritual weapon exactly 20 feet downwards. Could you move my yellow orb that I can no longer
I
see?
can move it exactly 20 feet downwards. It moves 1, 2, 3, 4, about there.
Okay. It clearly
It's
reaches
here.
nothing. I don't think anything's in 5 feet of that now.
Nope.
So that was my bonus action.
Okay.
For my actual action, I will join up with my buddy and slash at the wolf no, I will stay back here, sorry, and I will toll the dead on the wolf, the bad-looking wolf.
Bad looking wolf. All right. It fails its wisdom save. It has been told for once.
Miracles.
All right.
Bong.
Down. Anything else, Parmax?
Nope, that is everything.
Okay. Let's check this out now. Can he get to anybody from here? Doesn't look like it. Oh, he can.
Come at me, bro.
Oh, they're coming for you.
Come at me, bro.
Oh, they're both coming for you.
Come at me, bro.
Okay. 1 and 2. And you have to make 2 strength saving throws.
That's a 14.
That's a success.
That is a 3.
That is a fail, and you fall prone. So we'll say the first one you succeeded on. So, I believe it. Let's just see here. That's really weird the way it's written here. Oh, I did that wrong. Okay, that's fine. All right, so it's going to make an attack here then. I did that wrong completely, so it's going to get 2 attacks after that. 18?
Miss.
Miss. Okay. So the second one knocks you down, and then it's going to get advantage on this first attack, which it fails, and it's going to go make another attack, which it also fails. All
Bing,
right.
bing, bing, bing. They're hitting the
You
beetle
guys'
shield
ACs are too
currently.
Assad, go ahead.
All right. I use my bonus action to move the hunter's mark to this wolf
Yes.
or tiger, whatever.
Cat thing.
Stand up, obviously, and I will attack it.
Sure.
We're gonna pick the blue die this time. That's 19 to hit.
That hits.
1d8 plus 1d6. Only 11 damage. And then another attack.
Mm-hmm.
A 15 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. That is 13 damage on that attack.
So 24 total? 24.
Yes.
Okay.
It's max
Cool.
back.
All right. This wolf will once again attack Hanu, but no longer has advantage. Oh, actually, no. It's going to do... Oh, no, never mind. Wrong thing. Wrong thing. No, it's just going to attack. That's a 23.
That definitely hits.
Roll a strength saving throw, please. You succeed, so you only take 9 piercing damage.
Hey.
And Gomdune.
Yeah. Let's see. Man, I do that again. I don't have another joke ready this time though. Let's see.
You don't have to have a joke ready.
Yeah, I mean, I'll still do the. I'll still actually no. You know, what, I'll do. I'll just do a fire. Let's see, shove ourselves back, and then cast a firebolt at this one.
Yep. Nope.
Yep. Even if it did hit, the damage roll was
Yeah,
off.
it's not.
Not like it would have done anything.
Yeah. All right, Hanu.
My rolls tonight.
It's a real bonfire ass damage roll.
Yeah.
Bonfire ass damage. All right, go Hanu.
Yeah. I mean, I think. Well, first I'm just gonna smack him, and then I'm gonna bonus action for temp HP.
That hits.
Will you just sit
They
down?
both hit, in fact.
They both hit.
Wait, no, I think the second one might not. One
So
second.
remember the
Oh,
wolf
well.
on the right, the first
Yes.
attack on it had advantage.
No, the second one does not. So the second one doesn't hit. The first one hits and uses the advantage anyway. So unless you want to, you
Yeah.
can roll again for a crit if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so then
No, yeah,
nine
nine.
damage because it's
Yep,
first
9.
damage. Okay, yep.
And
9
he's
damage.
gotta hit me.
He's got to hit you. Yes. Orus.
Alrighty. Alright, let's poke my head out again.
Yes.
I can only see the one wolf. Alright, let's just go ahead and move the moonbeam such that it's on that wolf. I'll luminous arrow it at the same time.
Okay.
That was not with advantage, but it doesn't matter. I think
That-
Horus will move to his a better vantage point here, and that'll be his turn.
Okay. That hits. That wolf is looking ready to drop.
Well, hopefully at the start of its turn it'll drop.
I mean, almost certainly, because even if it succeeds, it will die.
Depends on how
probably,
terribly
so.
I roll.
I mean, I don't think it's even possible, right? You can't roll lower than a 2.
I
Well,
can't.
That's true.
So
He
it's
could roll
going to. So it's going to die.
No, he could get
Um,
a 2 and then succeed the con save, and it'd be 1 damage.
Yeah, it's going to die. Parmax.
1, 2, 3. See some things.
Indeed, you do.
Yeah.
4.
Ooh, see a couple things.
That one looks
Yeah.
hurt.
I think I bring my spiritual weapon over here if it's in 20 feet. I believe it is.
Yeah.
It is right there. I will move it for you.
Thank
Right there.
you.
Sure.
Cool. Alright, I will attack the hunter's market one.
Yep.
Spiritual weapon. Could
Nope.
I please hit a thing?
Nope.
Um,
You cannot.
No,
Not
I
allowed.
can't. And then, heck, because I'm here with a sword, I try and stabs it. There we go. That's a
You
hit.
definitely stabs it. Stabs
Finally.
it decently. Yeah.
6
that's
damage.
That's an okay stabs. All right. Anything else?
Nope, that is everything.
All right. Kitty is going to turn, and this one's going to gun for you. And it's going to do this. That's a miss. Other cat is going to attack Asad. 21 hits, I believe. 11 piercing.
Okay. Starting to look kind of rough.
It's your turn, though.
Hunter's Mark goes down.
Okay.
I fail my concentration check there. Yeah, I think I'm going to use my.
I mean, stick it out. I can make things better.
Yeah. How hurt does this one look?
Decently hurt. Not ready to drop, but it's breathing heavy. It's staggering a little.
I'll try to take him out. Alright, let's attack
Okay.
then.
Yeah.
So one attack. That's 22 to hit. I imagine that does it.
It's
Fucking min damage, 7 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then second attack.
Yep.
23 to hit.
Yep.
And let's see. I've used one more Divine Smite here.
Mm-hmm.
So 3d8. 13, 17, 23 damage on that attack.
Oh yeah, you got it.
Whoa. Damn, 23.
Okay.
Yee. That's
Wolf
that turn.
drops because it doesn't even matter what the damage is. Wait, what the fuck did I just do? There we go. Okay.
Oh, roll the damage for posterity.
Sure.
I want to see the 20.
10. Nah.
Yep. I mean, it takes 5 or 10 damage, and it dies.
Sure does.
Gumdune.
Well, this doesn't matter now, but I may as well just give it another shot.
Okay.
Nope. Nope. Man, my roll. Alright.
You have done literally nothing. This
Yeah. Yeah. I actually, like, never mind this section. I can't remember the last time I successfully hit with something.
No, you have done. Last session you did. You cast a monster damage firebolt. Like you've absolutely done things. It's just like your save or suck spells lately have just kind of sucked, unfortunately.
You're still paying off the debt from that one Duergar encounter where
Yeah,
it was
where
a
you
fucking ball massacre.
single-handedly like absolutely wrecked the encounter.
What happened? I need level 8 so I can get my I
Sure,
can finally get
let's
to
just
20.
skip level 6 entirely. Hand it
And 7.
Alright, I don't actually know where.
You can
You
hear
them
there's
fighting.
something
You can hear
roaring.
them fighting, so you
over
can,
here.
you can kind of
Okay.
move around.
Here, over there.
Yep.
Oh, I see what's happening. No. When I right click, when I right click,
Well,
it
this
drags
actually not
the
work.
map
Hold
to.
on a second. I'm gonna do this.
Oh, hey.
How'd I
And
do?
I'm right there.
That did that do the same thing? I think that did the same thing.
Oh, I forgot to note my temp HP from last round. Alright.
Probably doesn't matter much.
Go for it.
It probably doesn't matter much.
Yep, that
'Cause
hits.
I'm just
Do you
gonna
ever
hit him in
roll
the
lower
back
than a
of the
20?
face.
Okay, there you go. You roll it. Doesn't matter. They roll another damage because the 14 hits as well.
The 14 hits as well.
18. All right.
Actually, I've stolen all of Yango's mojo, because I remember
Pretty
I
good.
missed a ton before.
Okay.
Okay.
Horus.
Alrighty, I cannot see anything at all to fight.
You hear a
Move
wolf. You hear
this
a
far.
kitty cat behind that tree there.
Move up here. I cannot see the kitty cat,
Bummer.
It's problematic.
but I guess best thing I can do is move my moonbeam below Hanu to try to hit it.
You can do that, yes. So
That's
like,
all I'll do.
there?
That is my turn. Seems good.
Okay. Carmax.
I will cast Cure Wounds upon Asa at 2nd level.
All right.
I'll take it.
Oh, okay.
Very
That's
nice.
good.
9 damage. 9. Yeah.
Love
9
it.
total.
It's not nothing.
Love it, love it, love it.
Love the mineral, but and
Whoop.
then I will spiritual weapon the cat.
Yep.
And maybe hit.
Hey,
Finally.
you do hit. Look at that.
Bonk.
All right. Cat is going to turn around and attack Hanu because doesn't really have too much of a choice. It will
Well,
not
it
hit.
does.
I mean, it does, but all right, Asad,
Attack.
get him.
10. That misses.
That does miss.
Attack. A 12. That misses too.
That also misses.
Sick.
Come doing. You get another chance.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Get
got
to
this,
miss
buddy.
another firebolt.
Crit time.
Hey.
Actually, I'm gonna do something a little bit. I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna just use the mind sliver.
Okay.
Hit
Make
save.
wave roll. Make wave. Oh, good, lovely.
In save?
Roll high.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it gets advantage, but I don't think it's going to succeed anyway.
It gets
We'll
advantage.
see what happens. Yeah, it does. Interestingly.
Awakened.
No.
Oh?
No,
Oh.
that is.
Awakened
Oh, wait a minute.
doesn't-
Wait a minute. No, it just crit.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's awakened, so it should have a better int score than this. Now that I
Yeah,
realize
it should.
Yeah, so that actually.
Plus
Oh, so
0.
that's very interesting. So now, so you cast your mind sliver on this thing, and instead of sort of feeling it kind of take purchase, instead you immediately feel a sharp spike of pain go through your own mind, and you take 4 psychic damage.
Okay.
And what's the effect on mind sliver?
Normally, if you fail the save, then you get minus 1d4 to your next save in the next
Okay.
round.
So I think you have to roll an int save against yourself here.
Okay.
Actually, so you probably have a decent chance to make that. We'll see. So you can roll an int save for yourself.
Okay,
Yeah, you make your own int save. So I guess you don't take any damage then, or
I don't
you
know
still
why
take
I
Two
damage?
bother
damage.
using these spells now, because literally everything is resistant to them now, apparently.
Oh,
To be
That's the
fair,
actual thing,
this
is that,
is the
like-
first time anyone has cast this particular thing. Anyway, Hanu,
Okay.
go ahead.
Oh, I think I know what this is.
smashy, smashy.
Smash it.
The 10 towns aren't your plaything
That hits. That
anymore.
also hits. Do some damage.
Man,
That hits. Yes, 15. All right.
why didn't we? Oh, it did roll.
Still
I just
alive
didn't
though.
hear it enough.
Horus. Oh wait,
Well, you
it's
just-
not its turn yet. Wait a minute. Did
Oh.
I forget to take moonbeam damage? I think I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I did.
Oh.
Okay, well let's roll a con save then. Let's
Bam.
roll a con save. It succeeds. And it
So
probably
it
would
takes
move.
6 damage.
It probably would move out though, so it's probably gonna go here. It takes 6. Okay, cool. Still alive, just barely. Horus.
barely.
Let's just luminous arrow this thing as I move by.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that'll do it.
Bing.
That will do it. You have vanquished the forest party. What would you like to do now?
Did we
Okay.
get them all? Because I remember one was at like the back.
They're all dead.
Did she? They're all dead. They're all dead.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. Loot the druid.
Mm-hmm.
Loot the druid.
Loot the druid. Okay. The druid does not really have much in terms of worldly possessions, it being a druid and whatnot. You do note that on its staff, it has a familiar symbol in the shape of a snowflake that you have seen multiple times before.
Okay.
Got ourselves a frost druid there.
You might
Asad
know if
says
you-
in that exact voice.
You might know if you're a frost druid if. Stupid.
Okay. So yeah, what would y'all like to do?
I don't know if this is the only people coming to Lonelywood, but we definitely got to go to Tourmaline, right?
It
Yeah.
sounds like Ravison herself plans to attack it.
I think we need to take our chances. That if there is militia heading to Lonelywood, that they can fend off anything left that may be heading that way. And we need to be the ones at Tourmaline.
I agree. It
Yep.
Yep.
will not be easy, but it certainly will be harder without us there.
Well, that's going to be the case no matter where we go.
All right. So yeah, let's let Nimsy know and then head back and prepare Tourmaline for what is to come.
Okay. So here's what I will say. Based on the sort of the poor role you did earlier in terms of finding this particular group to begin with, I will say that in order to get back to Lonelywood today, you will have to take some exhaustion to get back there, to get back there tonight.
I mean, exhaustion rolls, right?
No, just straight
because
up.
because the actual like
Okay.
travel time that you guys would have done.
Okay.
Which
I mean,
honestly
a
I
level
think
of
cancels,
exhaustion to get
which
back. and then
cancels out
sleep
because
is
you guys
fine.
are sleeping, right? So you're fine then.
I think that's fine. Let's do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So you guys head back to Lonelywood.
So day 41, last day of the sacrifice, till the sacrifice.
Yeah. After this long rest will be the day of the sacrifice essentially because it happens at midnight.
Do we want to go out and try to find Ravison?
No.
Yes.
I think we want to spend the time evacuating Tourmaline and then fight her on ground we know.
Evacuate. We
Well,
need help.
I mean, we get everyone out except the militia, maybe put them even in the mines, and then we prepare for a siege, basically.
Well, I don't think it's going to be that dramatic.
Perhaps not, but as if we were fighting off an entire army, just to be sure.
If that was the entirety of what was going to go after Lonelywood, I don't imagine that, while Ravison may be more powerful than the Strud we just slew, she's not going to be orders of magnitude more powerful.
If you're certain.
I think that it's a good idea to have the non-fighting citizens positioned defensively behind everyone, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure that we need to have them hole up in the mines. I don't know if that's necessarily safer than in the town. I suppose we can let Oris decide.
Yeah, I don't think that part's our call.
He'll know best, but it seems like it'll come down hardest here. Assuming we
On that
interpret
note,
that right.
I don't suppose we have anything to spare to notify the cares, but hopefully they can take care of themselves.
I can let. Well, I have two spells. If
But
we want to let Trovis and Avarice know, I'll just be slightly depleted.
I think that we've done as best we can there. And we
Okay.
should have our full potential here.
Can't say I disagree. And on that note, I'm going to prepare Revivify specifically.
Okay.
Also, I might look through some other third level spells just to make sure we're truly combat ready, but I'm going to prep for that.
As it turns out, there's only so many good paladin spells.
They're cool as hell, but they are limited.
Is there anything else so you again presumably this is like you were going to sleep at Lonelywood start of the day. Is there anything you guys want to do either before you sleep or like during the day before heading over to Tourmaline?
I suppose if the militia was already on its way to Lonelywood, we want to make sure it's there.
To Tourmaline. That was the last you had heard.
Right, but we told them to send it on to Lonelywood.
I don't believe you did.
Yes, we did.
How did you do
did.
that?
We
Remind
left
me.
with Oris. We left the note with Oris.
We were-
saying,
Oh yes, that's right. Yes,
We
you were
very
right.
specifically
Okay.
did.
Yep. That's fine. Yes.
So
Okay.
then the militia is in Lonelywood?
No, the militia has. I mean, I will say the militia is not in Lonelywood when you get up.
Not yet. Okay. Well, if need be, we can send them ourselves.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else? You guys are gonna head to Tourmaline.
We're gonna head to Tourmaline, I think.
You're
We're
gonna
gonna
head
head
to
to
Tourmaline.
Tourmaline.
Suppose we let
you head to
Nimsy know
Tourmaline?
that we think we have defended what
Yeah.
would have attacked her.
Okay. So you guys head over to Tourmaline. It's probably about midday, so you have a good 12 hours before the time of the sacrifice. Anything you would like to do currently?
Yeah, I mean, aside from the things we've already mentioned.
The militia has not arrived yet.
Okay. That's not a good thing.
No. It's a
They
little
should.
worrying.
Probably should have been here by now.
Well, can't do much about that, I guess.
I mean, we've got 12 hours. We can go out, see if we can find them to the south.
Yeah, if that's what you want to do.
Well, I guess we should start with telling Oris and the militia that like we have, we think it's gonna the wrath from the lack of sacrifice might hit hardest here. So whatever you can do, whatever you can make ready, we will be here. But we want to check on the Bryn Shander militia first. So um, make ready what you can, and we'll be back.
Okay. Um, how far south would you like to travel?
I mean, the maximum of
Um,
like 5 hours, I imagine.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So we'll say probably a little over halfway between the distance, like a little over halfway the distance between Tourmaline and Targos. You would come across what is presumably the Bryn Shander militia members that Duvessa has spared. They are on foot, which is why
Oh.
they have taken a good amount of time to come. They are warmly dressed, but somewhat tired from marching. They sort of inform you that they traveled from Bryn Shander to Targos, stayed in Targos overnight because they didn't want to be caught on the road overnight. And so planned on making the long trek from Targos to Tourmaline to be able to defend on the night of the sacrifice, but misjudged exactly how long it would take them. It will probably take them without, again, proper sort of, travel implements like you guys have. It's going to take it, a good 8 to 9 hours. And it's like, let's say at this point, it's probably, early to mid-afternoon. So they absolutely will make it to Tourmaline, but it will be late and they will be exhausted.
And they're not gonna make it to Lonelywood. No fucking chance.
They will not.
Well, we're gonna have to roll some dice here.
Yep.
So what would you guys like to do about this? As far as the number of militia, Duvessa has spared a good, say, 20 to 30 stout men and women.
I mean, I
On a
suppose.
scale of 1 to 20, how stout are they?
They're decently stout.
I mean, I suppose we can't
12.
we can't really offer them any transportation or anything.
Man,
Like,
they're stouter than we are.
No.
there's no way we can help them unless there's anything they think we could do to help them get to Tourmaline more ready to fight. Then there's not like I mean,
Yeah, I don't have anything like greater restoration at this level to
Yeah.
remove
I
exhaustion
mean, my
and
brother
stuff.
could prepare them a hearty meal.
No, I didn't prepare it.
Damn.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean-
I got combat ready today, so
Damn. No hearty meals.
no hearty meals.
so
I want a hearty
I
meal.
guess we'll head back ahead of them and say we'll take whatever help we can get when you get there.
By the
Hearty
way,
meal for next time.
But be ready for a fight.
by,
Yeah, what were you gonna say?
when we get back to Tourmaline after colliding with the militia, I will pull a panther out of my gray bag of tricks.
Okay. You now have a panther.
Okay,
Nice.
panther pal.
Alrighty.
Okay. Is there anything specific you would like to do to prepare for the night of the sacrifice?
I think Oris is going to augur about 30 minutes before the sacrifice. Maybe more
Okay.
like 25 minutes before the
25 minutes
sacrifice.
before. Sure. What would you
If
like
there's
to augur?
anything anybody's going to do before then.
Yes. I like any specifics you want to give me, like, could be helpful.
We could also be potentially like 25 minutes out of Tourmaline towards Lonelywood when we do the augury.
How many hours is it between Lonelywood and Tourmaline?
With your travel, like a little over an hour, probably.
Okay.
Somewhere between, like an hour and a half, maybe.
Unfortunately, I don't think we'd make it to Lonelywood in time to stop anything from happening.
If it happens immediately, no. It's more like so. The idea behind the augury, and Oris would discuss with everybody is we'll carefully phrase an augury to be like basically to try to suss out which location is going to where we'll do the most good, whether that's figuring out where the mistress is going or what have you. And if we're just a little bit outside of Tourmaline, we can get to Lonelywood. Like, they're not going to destroy the town within 10 minutes of the sacrifice. It's gonna they were like, think about where they were positioned. Like, we had to like trek and exhaust ourselves back.
I suppose.
So we I mean, like, we may not be there right when it starts if we're head to Lonelywood, but we will get there before it ends.
Okay. Well, before we do anything like that, I want to make sure that Oris has a plan. Like, what is Oris's plan for the civilians if we express to him, like, look, we think that the most powerful agent of Arl left is going to be here?
And he says, "What do you think that means? Do we need to evacuate the town?"
We need them to be safe. Wherever you think they should be safest, while we help you, the militia, and us defend the town, you should put them there. You know this
Just 1 minute.
area better than us.
And he goes and kind of runs out for a minute, and he runs to sort of like the barn back, like in the back part of town.
Sure.
And following with him is Janth.
Yep.
And Janth says, "Oh, you're here.
Indeed we are.
Yep.
What brings you, friends?"
Same thing that brings you, presumably.
I don't think so, actually.
Oh, right, yeah.
Well, we're here to defend Tourmaline. We think it's going to come under attack tonight.
He kind of just looks down at himself. "I'm not sure what good I would be in such a defense." And Oris turns to him and says, "No, but you were present in the mines for a while. If we needed to keep the rest of the townsfolk somewhere..."
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking to Janth at this point. He says,
Mm-hmm.
"Do you think that the mines would be a safe enough place?" And Janth thinks to himself for a minute. And he says, "Well, certainly not the lower levels. And one would have to keep a very, very close eye on the central shaft down to God's nowhere. But if we could spare a few militia members just in case, I think we might be able to have enough room for a decent amount of townsfolk should the need arise.
Worth
That
doing, if you
said,
ask me.
mine is some ways outside of the town itself, so maybe we only evacuate if need be."
We don't know how it's going to go.
Nor is it clear who they'll come after. If it's a sacrifice they crave, they may go for the less defended, which we'll have to consider.
I mean, we're going to attempt our best to take the violence to them. But
Keep it out of the town.
we don't know the scope of this attack, necessarily. Based on what we saw in the woods, there will be at least several large beasts awakened that are unfortunately inured or partial to human flesh now, it seems.
Well, that is unsettling.
So I think I think the townsfolk should be in a defensible place before the sacrifice was supposed to happen. Because attempting to defend them while they are evacuated will be difficult against these faster sorts of creatures. They have
Do
a
you think we should?
mobility advantage against us.
Do you think we should then evacuate the town to the mines right away? I'm no military strategist. I don't really know what would be best. I just sort of assumed that the militia would take care of any threat, but if you're saying that we may not be able to handle it,
We don't know. I think with us here, we're as confident as we can be that we can handle what's going to come. But we're trying to limit the collateral damage, so to speak.
Perhaps getting in the mines and putting up even a minor barricade would just give some time for us to respond in case we are caught flat-footed.
all right, well, I will call a town meeting and I will try to get the town to agree to evacuate to the mines then.
Thank you.
We can send the militia that's coming here to from Bryn Shander to the mines when they get here.
That could work. The mine is to the southeast of Tourmaline. It would shorten their travel, but I would assume they would need to rest before beginning their watch.
Well, we don't have that sort of time. I suppose we don't know for sure when they're going to attack if they do, but one might assume it's going to be swift. From our understanding, they are watching to make sure that you do hold up your end of the bargain with Auril and commit some sort of sacrifice. And in the case that you don't, they will punish you. That is what they want to do.
They're watching.
Yes.
Oris just sort of thinks to himself for a minute. What does that mean that they're watching?
I mean, they have... We don't know for sure, but we know that they have some way of knowing who means to subvert the sacrifice somehow.
I strongly suspect that a certain acquaintance of ours was instrumental in their knowledge. We know that they've had contact with them in the first place.
All right, well, if indeed someone is watching, he just sort of stops and thinks for a minute.
Do you mean to attempt to deceive them?
Well, what do you think?
Or perhaps that, I mean, at the very least, the danger is that our preparation will be for less if they know where to go. If we could deceive them, that'd be something, but...
Well, the only issue is we don't know what the sacrifice looks like.
You don't need to.
None of us have seen it.
We've seen versions of it.
You
Well-
haven't seen the human sacrifice.
Not...
No.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen what we
Which-
presume to be the aftermath of it, but we don't know what that looks like.
Yes, which and now I'm trying to remember if Tourmaline was one of those towns that did that, and I can't remember for the life of me because it has been a fucking long time. I need a second. Yes, it was.
Well, we could attempt to do so, and it may indeed avert a battle. It would make you safer.
How would we go about it?
I mean, I don't. I'm not sure. I don't think. I'm not sure that any of us know how to pretend to die.
We could
It
go
might.
through.
Be the
I've
one
gotten
doing the
pretty close
pretending,
to
though.
actually dying.
We could go through the ceremony, but then beyond that point, I mean, usually what the sacrifice entails, you've really never experienced one.
No,
I
we were
mean,
distracted during the last one.
and you know, we lived in Goodmead where it was not a human sacrifice.
So what you know from the sacrifice when you experienced it in Bryn Shander is they sort of gather the town, the crowd sort of repeats, there's something that sort of they say, they go on, and then the guardsmen and sort of took the person to be sacrificed outside of the town. And that's kind of all you really knew.
What happens after that point?
Well, usually they are left to the elements, to presumably to Oral. We don't know what happens beyond that point. Sometimes
For
there was a body, sometimes there wasn't.
that is,
A little ominous.
we would be lying bait in that case. That is a
I
dangerous
mean,
game.
bait could be helpful, but it is dangerous.
Does it have to be real bait? Can we deceive them with an illusion of sorts?
Can you maintain an illusion for hours? Because we don't know when they're going to check up on it, so to speak.
Depends how big the illusion is.
If
I
it's a
mean,
person,
brother, we could stay warm just lying in the cold while the others lie in wait if we wish for that kind of ambush.
Yeah.
say we meet Arl herself.
Or hopefully not, but perhaps Ravison.
Yeah.
But
That
either is
is
possible.
that is a risky chance to take.
You're not
It is.
wrong.
But I will.
I think it's better we run into her than anyone else.
Well,
Yeah, that's what
the
I
thing
was
is,
thinking.
if there's not even a semblance of a sacrifice, then we can presume to know somewhat of what might happen. But if there is at least the appearance of a sacrifice, we don't know who comes to collect. If it is Ravison, then we will have successfully sprung the trap we think we wish to do. But if it is Arl, then we will have laid bait for a much bigger fish than we can fry.
I mean, perhaps. I think we have to. I think it. I think we can assume it might be Ravison just because if the spell makes Aura weak, then I wouldn't. Perhaps she doesn't send anyone but her. Perhaps she sends minions and not comes herself. Perhaps she has to continue maintaining the spell rather than come herself. It's a gamble, but
On that note, I will subversively remind you of something, which, I mean, maybe you wouldn't remember, but I think is still kind of fair game. Um, You know what the spell looks like, right?
She's streaking
Yeah,
through the
the
sky.
aurora. Yeah.
Yes. If you were to think back to the sacrifice, as a
Is
sort of
that
a
when we've seen it happen? The scene,
as
the
a
like.
sort of a hint.
Well, what
So
happened then? Like,
the jitter across the sky, did that happen on the sacrifice? Was that the last time we saw that? Was it in Bryn Shander that
We
night?
were in Bryn Shander. That was when the wrong names got pulled, right? And it stopped.
Yeah.
Mm.
was
Okay,
that the
so it's-
case? Is that what happened?
Yes, Horus saw it. The spell halted for a moment, like it just stopped and then continued on.
Hmm.
So it's probably being cast at that moment. So it's probably unlikely to be oral. So we are springing the trap we want, even though it's not. We can't be sure it's the trap we want.
Or they know it's a deception from the get-go.
Right. I mean, we could always get picked, but
Does it? I might have missed this, and if it was already gone over, I'm sorry. Is it truly random?
I mean,
Couldn't someone,
We don't
couldn't
know.
someone just be tribute? Okay.
It
Well,
turns
I'll
out
fig-
that D&D runs a somewhat determinate random number simulator, and
Wow.
I mean, like
I
the
was
way, truly, the way that we
Sorry, man.
understand most of the sacrificing towns seem to do it with a lottery. It doesn't seem to be important to oral who gets sacrificed. It's more like
We don't know that.
the towns need to. I mean, we don't, but like, not all the towns sacrifice the same things. Presumably,
Yeah.
you could execute criminals and it would work the same out for oral, but I don't know if that's the case. I think it's just a social thing. I think.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, presumably they would have done that with Zan then if that was actually like valid in some way.
They probably should have done that with Zan.
Yeah.
Well.
How
maybe
much
they
of this
just didn't want to take the
theorizing-
chances sitting on a red wizard.
How much of this theorizing can we confirm with Horus? Like,
Do you,
Like, what,
is there a
Horus or
reason,
Orus?
Orus? Is there a reason behind the
I mean-
sacrifices, like who gets picked?
Is there a reason behind? Are you asking Horus this? Like Horus,
Yes.
the
Yeah,
speaker?
the leader. Like, does it matter who gets picked? Could it?
Does it
is
matter? I
feasible,
mean,
is
it's.
it feasible that it could be one of us?
I mean, if you enter your names into the drawing, absolutely. But
Does it? Could we just volunteer to save the drawing?
I don't see why not.
what are
Okay.
the exact mechanics? Step by step.
Well, usually nobody wants to volunteer to be sacrificed to a cold, unfeeling winter goddess.
But
So,
it may be important. We don't know at what point something magical is evoked.
Look, I'll admit that if I was planning on being sacrificed, volunteering wouldn't maybe quite be my jam either. But
Well, think of it this way, though, right? Like,
hopefully, you know.
if the sacrifice is a ritual, think of it this way. This is what I'm trying to get at, okay? If the sacrifice is a ritual that is part of the casting of the spell,
Mm-hmm.
and a disruption to that ritual is known,
I mean, I can halt you here for a second because you know you've seen the aurora appears every night.
right?
yeah,
Well, what you can't be that vague. What is that supposed to mean to me right now?
it means that the sacrifice can't be a part of the spell directly every night because we only sacrifice once a month.
I mean, that doesn't
So,
really
what-
say that to me. That doesn't, like, I don't see those two things as like mutually exclusive.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you the exact mechanics behind the spell.
Yeah, no, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think we
It
can.
seems a huge stretch to think that
I am not going to tell you exactly how this
it
spell
seems a huge
works.
stretch
Well,
to
then
think
why didn't you
that,
say anything?
that the sacrifice is like a part of the ritual component. Based on what we've learned previously, it's just a matter of the ritual gives oral power
Right?
because it's a sacrifice to a god,
Okay.
and oral chooses to use that power to just keep, beating down,
Okay.
the masses here.
So outside of it being the spell that casts the rhyme, the ritual itself is still like some sort of like magical process, right?
You mean like the sacrifice?
The sacrifice.
I mean,
It has
not
to
that
be
you
in
know
some
of.
degree.
Not that you know of.
So maybe
Why does it have to be?
Wave.
so
That's
because-
what like you interjecting here is actually making it harder for me to communicate because you're just adding more uncertainty. You're not able to like answer my question, right? Which you as the DM can't answer that question. It is not helping
Okay.
to just say that.
Okay, sorry.
Well, no, I mean, I think I got what we was trying to say there, which is that like there is no magic in what the townsfolk do. They do the thing that they know to do, all of which happens, and then the person is left outside. If there is a thing that like confers the power directly, it happens outside the town, which means that either the winter itself or an agent of Oral does it.
Okay.
And
Yes,
so
that's if I'll interject, that's what Monty and Asmo have sort of assumed sums it up and sums
Right.
up your knowledge of it thus far pretty
But
nicely.
counterpoint to that,
yes,
right?
sure.
They knew somehow who was meaning to undermine the sacrifice, right? They have a way of knowing that.
I think we know what the mechanic is, and I think the mechanic is awakened beasts. I think that we, at some point, I don't remember exactly when we heard this, but my impression was is that, oh, you know what it was? It was I think it was talking to the water beast.
I zoned out during that section, so it's possible I missed that.
Yeah, it's. I feel like we have some idea that the thing that is watching is just agents of Oral, and the most innocuous agents of Oral and the most common are just more of the animals. I suspect
Right.
that the people watching are just beasts.
Yeah, I understand that,
who
but
can
like
look
they
like-
have a knowledge of who means to who helps undermine the sacrifice that extends beyond what I would presume you could see from outside of a town. They have like special knowledge. How did they gain that knowledge? How do they know whose names were falsified in Bryn Shander? How do they know that Oris helped convinced Trovis not to sacrifice? How do they know that?
Oh,
Uh,
the Bryn
whatever-
Shander one.
The spell, whatever, I'm forgetting the name of the spell. What did Yang? Because I mean, they could use the clairvoyant stuff too, right?
But what?
I mean, let's keep it even more simple. Again, I will say, why would they not know that Trovis didn't do a sacrifice?
Actually,
Yeah, but how did they know it was Oris who convinced him?
Oh,
Sefik
well,
knew.
Yeah, someone on the inside. Like
Right,
that was a
but
human
we're trying-
druid that
and it's
that
who,
we
like,
killed.
who?
They can walk in. They could presumably hold back enough that they don't want to. They can walk in and just.
So they're just
smash.
watching us all the time?
no, yeah,
Not
yeah,
all the time, just around the sacrifice time.
Yams, I think you make a good point though. Like the thing that I forgot about was the whole bullshit magic around the Bryn Shander one, in which case someone whose name was supposed to be pulled from a random lottery
Right.
avoided it, and then Sefik went after them and went after Oris too.
And everyone else whose name. He killed more than
So-
just one person. He killed
Right.
everyone's name on that list that we knew that were
Yeah.
changing the sacrifice. How did he
So
know
we
that?
So we should just not fuck around with the sacrifice. Let's just invite them.
It's so it's like we don't know enough to know how it works. And that alone, like the fact that they are able to know stuff like that means that we don't know how much of that is magical.
Yeah. So let's just invite them in. I think that's a fine enough assumption to
Right?
like,
Does
just
that
base
make
our plan
sense?
off of. Yeah, totally. I forgot about the Sefik part because I think that Sefik bit changes what we can guess about like how much you could fake this.
Yeah.
I
don't
didn't know, so
Totally. You weren't around.
Like there's no way the process is 100% mundane before Arl comes and collect or whoever comes and collects the sacrifice. Like
I mean, even if it turns out to be that way, I think we have enough evidence to just say like let's just fight in a place that has walls
right.
or
'Cause
like houses to hide behind.
Technically.
Because if they know, if like, I mean, yeah, the point is like, the point I'm trying to get at is like, if they know like who means to undermine the sacrifice by deceiving names, is like, they could very easily know that we mean to like manipulate who was picked in order to,
Yeah.
like, it's so risky.
let's just hold our ground. Let's just like post up with the guards and hold our ground. I think that's a gets us out of like it gets us through this bit, and also I think it's a good call based on what we know now.
Yeah. I didn't know there was shenanigans earlier that you guys tried to pull, so you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's like, it was just that night. It was like there were a lot of things that like happened that we did not expect to happen, and it like showed that they have information that we didn't think they had, and we have no idea how they got it.
Specifically, Sunaj, the thing that happened was the people who tried it wasn't us. It was a bunch of the Zentarum from Targos who tried to make sure their agents in Bryn Shander didn't get murked, but Sefik was there, found out about it, and is like, I'm gonna go murk those fools who tried to fool Oral. And
Yeah.
it's like, how would he even fucking know?
Yeah, how did he
Well,
even know?
it could be that they purchased the method from Torga.
Could be. But
Purchase the method? What do you mean?
I mean, the other thing I will mention again,
Because we
unless
knew
you,
that they played around with the name things themselves so that they could be misread, or
Sure.
that the names would change perhaps after they had been put in the
Right.
pile.
Yeah. Oh, so you think that Sefik just happened to have been around when? I mean, it's possible.
I mean, that's not
very-
that doesn't necessarily explain everything.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
And then they still knew that you were the
doesn't
one that
explain
convinced
why
Travis.
well, I guess maybe it stopped if maybe it stopped because there was a connection with Sefik and he recognized the names that came out as being the ones that had been changed or what have you.
Yeah. But anyway, point being is like, I don't know. It feels super risky to me to try to deceive them on the sacrifice stuff.
Yeah, let's just fight them. Let's like, well, you know what? We'll play fuck around and find out, but let's fuck around and find out. It's time.
Let's fuck around and find out.
It's also 10:30.
That's true.
That is
Yeah.
also true.
so it's that's not going to happen this session. So if there's any specific preparations, again, that you guys would like to try and do, or any specific plans other than wait for shit to go down, which if that's the plan, that's fine. Then let's set it all up now so I can have it prepped for next session.
We'll say we convince him to send the townsfolk, or wait, to not send them to the mines, right? Isn't that what we agreed on?
No, I think we send them to the mines.
To send them
have
to the
them build
mines.
something.
Yes.
And we and the position we set up with Orus's plan is we just make sure we can get to the mines too.
Yes.
I mean, it's Tourmaline. We it's not too far out, but like where we set up for the Star.
Did you not want to be? I thought you wanted to be part way to Lonelywood.
We do, but like maybe a little closer to Tourmaline as a result. Just like if we need to rush specifically towards the mines because they
Right.
know to go to the mines, we can just do that too.
Okay.
And then we do Orus's plan, which still is good.
The augury.
And everything, yeah, the augury, and everything
Okay.
else is. I think that's it. I think it's just everything else is resting up.
Okay, so
Yeah,
then
I
let's.
was gonna say, I just want to be clear that I remember you saying, are we still on the exhausted train?
No,
No, we're not
You
exhausted.
slept that off. You're good.
Cool,
You guys are
okay.
good. Okay, so then there's two things that I want to do before we call it. First of all, so the plan is just to kind of wait around, not too far out of Tourmaline for like 11:30 something or 11:40 something, and do an augury, right?
Yep.
Monty, what would that augury be?
That's a good question. Would we?
I'd rather
think
do it
that's-
now than the
Yeah,
beginning of next
That's
session.
the right call. What guys? What do we think the right wording here is?
I had an idea earlier.
Okay.
It was if we stay in Targos, or not Targos, Tourmaline. If we stay in Tourmaline,
In
we'll
this case, head back to Tourmaline.
whatever. Yeah. If we head back, if we intend on defending Tourmaline, will we meet Ravison
Rav-
there?
Ravnica.
One way to maybe make that a little more.
Sunaj.
Oh
Yeah.
no, never mind. Ravison. Yeah, never mind.
Right?
I-
Isn't that what
that's
we
a-
care about?
Yeah, that's around the lines of what I'm thinking is like will basically some version of will we meet Ravison and Tourmaline.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, we can't ask where will we save the most people. That is not a question we can ask. We have to ask a yes or no question.
Was that final answer?
It's
Your
up to you,
call,
Monty.
Monty, but
If you have better
I
wording.
think so. That sounds good.
Okay, so you want to ask, if say it one more time. Phrase again.
If we defend Tourmaline, will we meet Ravison in battle there?
Okay. The result you get from that is wheel.
Yep.
All right.
All right. So on that note, that's where we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it pretty much, with you guys sort of waiting in your position between Lonelywood and Tourmaline, and awaiting the beginning of the Aurora and the time of the sacrifice.
All right.
Next session, I believe, Asmo, you cannot be there for it.
yep.
Which is a little unfortunate. So, I mean, here's what I'll say. I don't know.
So the 10th.
Is a Monday more doable?
I mean, I will be back by then. It's not super doable.
From what 50
No?
said,
Okay.
from what 50 said, he can't do Mondays. So if we want 50 to be there,
Is he still that? Okay. Well, no. I mean, we definitely. I mean, we as per the usual agreement.
Right.
So, I mean, I. This
what
feels
it
like one of those sessions I
You
kind of
prefer
want
to have
everyone to be there
everybody, is
for.
what you're saying.
Yeah, I want everybody
Kinda?
like
Because
I'm
this
definitely
feels like one
on
of
board
those.
with that.
This feels like one of those sort of climactic type sessions.
yeah.
It is a big fight, and possibly, well, actually, based on what we said yesterday, definitely a level up session. So
Yes. So
might
it
be worth
feels
doing.
like it would be a good one to have everyone present for.
I'm
Um,
fine.
I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
But
even
that
though
said,
it
I
Yeah,
might
also
be-
don't want to take a 4 week break. So
Well, just post a wind meet or something. Reach out to people, and we'll figure it out.
I mean, I'm good on 17. Like
yeah,
if
is
we
there
just
anyone
want
who
to
could
say,
not? Is there anyone who presumably could not do the 17th? That would be my question.
Let me check.
let me see. 17th.
I'm good.
So hold on. I don't know if I'm good on the 17th. I should. It's basically a 1 in 5 chance.
A 1 in
I'll let you know
5.
when I'm not.
I am the easiest to schedule.
I'll let you know
Yeah.
when I know for
now,
sure.
So
Okay,
But
so
I
how about
don't
this?
actually know right
How about this? We'll aim for the 17th, but maybe we'll try to set up a backup session date.
yep.
Okay.
The-
That sounds
now.
good.
That's reasonable.
From what 50 said last
I'll-
session, his 2 good days are Sunday and Thursday.
I think, yeah. I mean, are there people who can't do Thursdays?
I could do
Like
this,
the
I could do
21st.
Thursday. Yeah, I could do this. I could do Thursdays in July, is what I'll say.
Okay.
I can't do them always, but I can do them this month.
Okay. I mean, is there anyone who cannot do either this or next Thursday?
I'm generally available on Thursday. Let me just double check this specific.
Fivo's not back this Thursday, right?
Okay, I'm good on both of the upcoming Thursdays.
Like
Okay,
14th.
Fivo's not
Fivo's not back this Thursday. He's
Okay,
back the 9th.
Okay, so this Thursday's out, so it's basically
14th or 21st.
either 14th or 17th.
Yeah.
Worst
Okay.
case scenario, like 21st or 24th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
That's yeah. I mean, I would hope that one of those two sessions, the 14 or 17, we can do.
Yep.
So yeah, that will be the plan
What-
then.
So there's one more thing for this session if you're ready, Wave.
Oh yes, I am. So okay. I mean, I'll do an introduction to this if you want,
Go for it.
unless you had one planned.
Ooh.
I didn't have anything planned beyond what I told you in terms of the
Okay.
introduction.
Okay. So, you guys are sort of nervously camped out in the dark, a little off the road to sort of the west, the northwest, I guess, towards Lonelywood. The kobold group, what's left of them, and members of the exhausted Bryn Shander militia have agreed to sort of head down into the mines. Most of the townsfolk have agreed to evacuate based on sort of the goodwill that you have garnered, that Oros has managed to build up, the assurance that Janth knows the mines inside and out, and the appearance of the Bryn Shander militia. There are a few stragglers within the town, stubborn older folks who are the typical type to not leave their lands come hell or high water. But for the most part, the populace is entrenched. The Tourmaline militia members have set up. Tourmaline itself, not being a walled city, causes some sort of defense issues, depending on whether you're concerned that something will be coming from the water, for example. Let me ask, I mean, would you guys be concerned about that?
I think we would, right? We have to because we know that they have people in
Okay.
And
Merdwalden.
awakened
Okay.
water animals.
Yeah, so I
We've
mean,
literally met one.
yeah, so I mean, Tourmaline is a coastal town on the banks of Merdwalden, so you have sort of agreed with Oris to set up perimeters to some degree with what limited militia members there are. You Tourmaline has generally somewhere around 50 able-bodied people in order to do this, and so if the main force is to defend outwards towards the tundra, some amount of the main militia force has been taken to defend the lake and the coast. Perhaps with some sort of signal that if there is no danger from there and battle has been joined on the eastern front, that they will then presumably join up. It's not exactly a far away across the town or anything. So the militia has sort of set up posts across the town, with sort of extra a little bit of extra military might on the northeastern side towards where the mine would be, and a little less on the road itself, coming on the road towards Targos, because assumedly they're not going to be taking the roads into the well-traveled roads into town. So you've generally got posts of about anywhere from 6 to 8 members of the town, sort of. And if you were to bring up the map of Tourmaline, which is over here, you've sort of basically got 6 to 8 of these Tourmaline militia members set up in like little mini phalanxes, spread out around the borders of the town. And you guys are sort of on the road to Lonelywood up to the northwest. And as this is all happening, the rest of the towns are also preparing themselves. In Bryn Shander, the walls and the guard posts are being fortified heavily. In East Haven, Captain Imja Arlagath has been running drills with her many veterans all day, delegating her sort of groups, and defending accordingly. Targos has set up almost like a further layer beyond its walls. The gates have been shut and allowing no one inwards. Lonelywood really does not have sort of much to offer. There are people sort of huddled in and around. Nimsy has sort of taken in as many people as she could, and the few people sort of able to defend are keeping watch outside the area. In Goodmead, Shandar Froth and his loggers have gathered everyone once again into the mead hall and have prepared his boys accordingly. in Caer Dineval and Caer Conic. There is a multitude of suddenly appearing black-robed figures who have taken up posts in and around the town. The townsfolk are bewildered because they really haven't seen this many people gathered in one spot in quite a while. The care itself in Caer Dineval has been active, and people have been spilling forth, the likes of which Caer Dineval has not seen in months. In Bremen, there's not a lot to be done. There are old fishermen. Some people have chosen to take up spears, but most people have sort of huddled up within their houses. In one particular tavern in East Haven, one man has recently achieved some form of inspiration.
Oh.
Though previously traumatized, something struck him,
Oh shit.
and though you are not currently there, he sings once again to the people gathered within the tavern's walls.
Listen well, my friends, I'll tell you of a soul, the stalwart armored man, last son of Dugan's Hole. Long he had spent abroad, it was his way to roam, until the day his heart cried out it was time to go home. My son, make your way homeward, we're waiting for you still. We'll keep the fires bright and hot to warm the maidens chill. You've been too long away, don't tarry as you stroll. You are to us our favored son, the last of Dugan's Hole. He sailed to revel's end, but in the wretched frost he erred upon his way, and was hopelessly lost. But in the tundra's snows he chanced upon the brave, that group of righteous souls that swore 10 towns to save. My son, make your way homeward, we're waiting for you still. We'll keep the fires bright and hot to warm the maidens chill. You've been too long away, don't tarry as you stroll. You are to us our favored son, the last of Dugan's Hole. Though homesick he was still, he joined them in their quest. They traveled to and fro, with barely time to rest. The days and weeks passed by upon the tundra bleak, yet of that little town he never thought to speak. My son, make your way homeward, we're waiting for you still. We'll keep the fires bright and hot to warm the maidens chill. You've been too long away, don't tarry as you stroll. You are to us our favored son, the last of Dugan's Hole. When finally he stood upon red water's shores, he ran straight to his home and knocked upon the doors. But what he saw inside, it chilled him to the bone. That was the day his heart cried out, for he had lost his home. My son, make your way homeward, we're waiting for you still. We'll keep the fires bright and hot to warm the maidens chill. You've been too long away, don't tarry as you stroll. You are to us our favored son, the last of Dugan's Hole. A being of the underneath, each town person consumed, and two red oozing creatures his parents' place assumed. O son, they spoke, we've missed you so, you are so very late. As their son prepared himself to end their wretched state. My son, make your way homeward, we're waiting for you still. We'll keep the fires bright and hot to warm the maidens chill. You've been too long away, don't tarry as you stroll. You are to us our favored son, the last of Dugan's Hole. When his work was done, the town was all alight, each house a funeral pyre, burning in the night. The bane of the red waters was vanquished on that day. But son of Dugan's hole, alas, you were too long away. My son, make your way forward, we're cheering for you still. Remember to dress warmly against the maiden's chill. You were too long away, tarrying took its toll, yet still you are our favored son, the last of Dugan's hole.
Can't hear my clapping, but I am as well.
That is
Damn.
outstanding.
How do you feel about that, Sunash?
It's pretty friggin' cool.
So I mean, it goes without saying, obviously, inspiration on that. But that, yeah, absolutely fucking fantastic.
I give my inspiration to Hanu.
Eh.
You are absolutely more than welcome to.
Damn.
So Hannah, you have inspiration. Make sure you mark it down.
I am sad 5 missed that.
Damn.
that was very good. Good work.
I want the lyrics to that. Can you?
I
He
posted
posted
it in
it.
Frosty Friends. And yeah, so if you're wondering why there was a lot of times I probably should have been speaking up and was just dead silent, I was writing all that.
Did that hit
He
you
messaged
today?
me like, early on in the
Wow.
session. He's like, "Hey, I'm writing a song for Ronaldo to sing. You want to like make that happen somehow?" And I was like, "Oh, you guys are nowhere near East Haven, but sure, we'll just do a narrative kind of thing."
Eh.
It's time for a cut to
Yeah, cutscenes, man.
yeah, cut across the board. Damn it, I posted the thing wrong, I think. Oh no, I didn't. Nice. Yeah, no, that's. It was time for a like interlocutionary cut across as we prepare for the.
For the
Yeah.
It was a
sacrifice, yes.
very
Right
good
about
time for
the
that.
time-
And
yeah,
I was
it's about time
really
for that,
impressed,
yeah.
Wave. I was really impressed by how you did that.
That was so good.
That was
Oh.
pretty good.
Yeah, that was
especially
definitely the
considering
time
it
to
was
do it.
on the fly.
10 out of
I
10.
mean, everything's on the fly, but yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so that's a great fucking fantastic way to end the session. I can't think of a better way.
Ronaldo's vocal range is really, really
Hey,
incredible.
listen,
I
man.
know,
He is
right?
Ronaldo